Yo, what up, guys? Welcome to the Sample Podcast, the number one social dynamics podcast in the world. I have a very special guest today. This is the first time we are traveling into the world of Twitter. This is the first time that we are getting deep into it. And you're going to hear a lot of concepts that, my Instagram audience, my YouTube audience may not know. Jump over to Twitter and you'll know exactly what we are talking about. Today, I am with co-owner of Cashflow Syndicate, the man that has helped me revolutionize my business life, the man that face docked himself, if you don't know what that means, in April 18th, and his whole life has changed ever since that moment. I can tell you, I've quadrupled my revenue just because of the knowledge that this man has in his brain and is going to bestow upon this. This is going to be a different style of podcast. This is going to be, he's not only my friend, but we are going to sit back, relax, and we are going to chat the shit. So welcome to the podcast, Mr. David Hunter. How are you, bro?
Sam, it's good to see your face, my friend.
Let's start with selling red cups at 19 made you your first $100,000.
It's an interesting story. So we're just going to get right into it, huh?
We're getting right into it, bro. No, that's it. Tell me.
So I was 19. I was in college, or for my university friends, or for my European friends, I was in university. I had the bright idea. So the whole story starts out. So I was dead broke. It was the summer of my sophomore year, second year of school. And what happened was I needed to make money. So what is the first thing you go and do when you make money? You go work at a McDonald's, a sandwich shop, a coffee shop, something that just gets you paid, landscaping, whatever it is. Most of those jobs aren't even available to any kind of high paying job isn't going to be available to you when you are that young, right?
Yep.
Certainly not what's available now with all this stuff in sales that people can do, but we'll get to that later. So I ended up going and I worked at a sandwich shop called Jersey Mike's, and it's in America, and the food is actually really good there. But what happened was they fired me after 3 weeks because they thought I had an attitude. I probably would agree with them, right? I was never late. I always worked. It was just, I guess I was maybe a bit unpleasant because I had $8 in my bank account the whole time, or it was like $8 or $11, fluctuated. I couldn't spend any money. I couldn't do anything. I had to wake up, go to work, and then I don't know if they ever found out, but I'm telling them they can sue me if they want. That might not be fun. But I used to incorrectly make some of the sandwiches wrong, some of the more complicated ones, put them in the back of the freezer so that I had food to eat. Right? Damn. There's not much, even in 2016, there's not much you can buy with $8.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how I ate for pretty much the 3 weeks. And I didn't want to call anybody. I didn't want to call my mom or anything. I didn't want to call, any of my friends and be like, hey, I need money. Right. Because I hate having to owe people something. I hate having to rely on people for something like that. And I needed to be completely self-sufficient. Right. Because I burned through the couple $100 I had just to hold me over for groceries and everything like that. So get the job. I make about $500. I want to say it was about $500. I think it was $563 around.
Uh-huh.
And I remember one day we get called in, and I'm supposed to be on shift that day. I'm working, and I walk all the way up, and I had to be up for it. My shift was at 3 p.m.
Uh-huh.
And I had a 7 a.m. meeting that I had to go to. The whole store had to go walk up or drive over there, and I lived 20 minutes by walk away. And my dumbass, it's 85 degrees in the summer, walking up the fucking hill in a giant hat and a giant bright red polo shirt and khakis in 85-degree weather. My 19-year-old ass about to go make sandwiches for $9 or $8, however much it was. So the girl who was the manager at the time pulled me aside before she even started the meeting and said, hey, Dave, we have to let you go. And you know what I said? I didn't try to argue, Sam. I didn't try to argue. I didn't try to fight. I didn't try to save my job. I was kind of in disbelief. And I was like, okay.
It's 6:50 in the morning, getting fired.
I went home and I took my ass back to sleep. I took my ass right back to sleep. So that brings me to, so I had that money, and actually school was about to start the next week, the semester. Now, in American universities, you know this because you lived in Los Angeles for however many years, king of LA, king kangaroo of LA. So I was there And me and my boys, we had this house, and it was a second floor house. And it was right on like the main street, like right next to, there was like the main, not the main strip, but the right behind the main strip. And it's where during the weekends, everybody used to go and party. So me and my boy Ro, shout out to Ro if you're listening to this, we decided, so we had a group of friends, we like to party. Freshman year, we like to party. Second year, we go, yo, we got a house now. Let's throw a party.
Yep.
So this was where I started to actually develop my ability as kind of like a salesperson a bit, right? So we all had, like, we all knew a bunch of freshmen. I knew a bunch of freshman kids. They knew everybody in their grades, right? Decently, like, you know, like we knew everybody, right? But we all stuck together for the most part. So the wind up is me and my boy Ro, we're like, all right, let's go get some kegs. So me, my boy Ro, and our other roommate, which is a whole different story. I don't really want to get into that. We all threw up, I think, $150 or it might have been more. It might have been 200-300 each or something. We spent a lot of money, right? Because we had to get a bunch of stuff. But I think it was probably about $100-$150 each, because I'm not even sure how much kegs are. We got like 2 or 3 of them. And I remember that fucking day, we put it all, for the first 3 days, we were like literally on Snapchat with our phones, getting Snapchat testimonials of our friends saying that we throw the best parties, because last year we threw some fucking fun parties. Bro, we made $1,000 or something in like 25 minutes. We were like, yo, we're going to start at 2 p.m. There was 100 people on my front lawn, and people, like, there was 100 people. There's all these girls, all of our friends, all these other random guys that had heard about it. Everybody showed up. It was the first Saturday or something of the school year. Everybody showed up, and we made bank.
Damn.
So we turned it into a business. This I really think was my first actual business success, right? Was selling red cups. And what we would do is we would say, okay, the cup, you have to buy the cup, but the alcohol is free. And so there's so many different ways I can go with this. So it was like literally like the alcohol is free. So we started kitting out the house, right? Lights. We tried some soundproofing that didn't really work. So we resorted to bribes of the people that were supposed to call the police and local, like they're hired by the school to go and like walk around in all black and like scare people. Oh my God, the troll is here. The
Men in Black or some shit.
Gave him some money.
Yep.
They fucked off. But pretty much for the entire first half of the year, we ran that party house. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday night.
Damn.
It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday during the day, and then Saturday at night.
Yo, that's crazy.
This house was a fucking shithole. It actually, like, we attempted to keep it clean for like at least, I want to say, the first couple weeks.
Didn't work.
Yeah. Now there was like a broken futon, man. We had our one friend, this dude Mike, who used to come through and would steal the futon on the couch in the living room and come and sleep upstairs in my boys' room or come in my room. And so for a while we were having parties and there was just a wire couch. Like there was no cushion to sit on. Like we had taken a couch that was getting thrown out off the street.
Yeah.
We had Christmas lights that we put up in the address of our house on the wall. And then we drew on like the beer pong table and everything. And it was dope. And we did that for about a year towards, I think, the back end of the year. And because we started running into trouble, right? Yeah. There was something that happened to me, or something happened to my roommate, where I took the heat for with those boys, those nice boys in blue. And it wasn't anything crazy. Yeah. I had to pay a fine, but they actually had threatened, Sam, they threatened to throw me out of school.
Right.
And I got a nice email because I remember, I think I was trying to schedule a class. And they said, you have a judicial hold on your account. This is how bullshit American University is, but we'll get that. We'll get to that. And so they said, you have to come in for a meeting. You have to schedule a meeting to remove the judicial hold. So I schedule a meeting. It's this nice older lady, white hair, short white hair, very, 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 very sweet.
Yep.
She puts a piece of paper in front of me, bro. And it says, my name says David and my last name. And it says, here's what they're accusing you of doing. And it turns out my fucking landlord reported me to the school.
Damn.
The landlord ratted on us. So what ended up happening, and it was like furnishing alcohol to minors, disturbing the peace, disrespectful to police officers. There's that disrespect thing again. I guess I'm disrespectful. But then it was like noise violation. And then there was like one more thing. There was like 5 counts.
Yeah, some
right?
bullshit charges and shit. Yeah.
I think it was like 4 or 5 counts. It was like furnishing alcohol to my, like all that shit. And I sat there. No, I was 19, bro. Sat there. I wasn't like well dressed. I think I just had like a black jacket on and some khakis and some Timberland boots on. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, look, I think her name was like Nancy or something.
Yep.
I said, Nancy, I appreciate you, taking the time to meet with me. And I said, look, I said, and I said, wow, I said, this is absolutely, this is incredible. This is insane. I don't know how they, like, I don't know how they said that I did all these things. Yep. I was like, there's no way I did all these things, and she said, well, and the whole issue was that my roommate had some issues with the police a couple times. And I gave them my information because he was going to go to jail. Yep. if something had happened.
Yeah.
I didn't want the kid to go to jail. I wanted to be a good person. It smacked me in the fucking face because now, if somebody's not going to fucking take the heat for, like, they should take the heat regardless, and they should own up and hold themselves accountable. Mm-hmm. But when the police showed up, I threw this one party and my boy Ro wasn't there. So it was just me and my roommate. I made like another $1,000 in like 35 minutes, or we had like, it was crazy. And it was when actually in Pennsylvania, the teachers actually went on strike and they canceled classes for like a couple of days, and the teachers went on strike. So we threw a giant day party on a Wednesday with like 3-4 kegs of alcohol, a bunch of bottles and everything. Like we got it crazy. And we got shut down within 45 minutes. Yeah. It was a Wednesday afternoon. We got shut down in 35 minutes. And then I remember, like, so the way we used to set it up is we used to have the table on the porch, and every house is kind of elevated. But the table on the porch, and if you looked up from the lawn, it was elevated, and then there were 2 double doors. So imagine a door here and a door behind it, and then we put the keg behind it. We'd put the keg and the speaker behind both of those doors. Oh yeah. And then it was the door up to our house, right? The second, third floor. So as soon as I heard that the cops, like somebody was like, cops are here, and I was like right next to the speaker or something, I closed the door. Right. I closed both the doors when I came out. Right. I closed both of the doors. So the cops actually, because they don't have a search warrant, all they see is a bunch of red cups and a table. Right. And I guess red cups have something in them, but I don't know what they are.
Could be water, could be anything.
And the way police officers use leading questions to try to, and there are like 2 stories going on here, but the way the police officers try to use leading questions to get you to confess to yourself is fucking ludicrous. Yeah. They would be like, hey, what are you guys doing here? I'd be like, and my roommate was already like talking to them, and I said, excuse me, cool as a cucumber, bro. I had a fucking khaki hat on, this giant shirt that didn't fit me, like front shorts and fucking Sperry's and these dickhead ass sunglasses. If I can find a picture, I'll find a picture. But I remember him just like, we're just hanging out, officer. Is there a problem? And he goes, yeah, you got a bunch of booze here. And I said, booze? Is there? I said, I don't see any booze. And he goes, yeah, he's like, you're a real smart ass, aren't you? You have a bunch of people playing pong on the lawn with a bunch of booze here. I said, listen, I just got here. And I'm pretty sure, I told some of my friends to come, and how these things, I said, how college is, some people tell some people, and then some people show up. I said, I can't control it. I'm not going to tell them to leave. They're all friends of ours. Right. But what they were trying to say is like, man, he's like, you got all this beer here in these cups. And he's like, you're selling alcohol. I said, I'm doing nothing of the sort.
Yeah,
absolutely.
they're trying to get you to fucking like, you know, manipulate you with
rat on
words.
yourself, right?
Yeah,
it's $1,000 fine per person if you are selling alcohol to minors, especially as a fucking minor.
Yes, okay. Right? And we're talking minor because a lot of my audience is like not 17. We're talking under 21.
Under 21, because in America you're under 21. So I was a minor, literally selling alcohol. Oh, that was the last count. It was a minor selling alcohol to minors. So it was two selling alcohol to minors. So let's flip back, right? So they took my information, and then I had to pay like a $350 fine with the court or something. That it's probably still on my record. I don't give a fuck. I'm not getting it. But I go into this room in the school, and it's because my landlords had ratted on me, and I'm just like, okay. And I said, I did nothing of the sort. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I did nothing of the sort. I was like, the only thing that I can say that we did for a fact was, I think the music was too loud. I said, I don't know where they got all these other counts. I said, I was absolutely respectful to the officers, even though they were trying to pressure me. They were trying to pressure me into saying things that I didn't actually do, into confessing to a crime I didn't commit. And then, I was absolutely respectful to officers. I said, we did nothing of the sort. We didn't sell any alcohol to minors. We didn't, I had nothing. All I did was invite some friends over to my place on a Wednesday to support the teachers. Best believe I did every fucking thing. And I'll say right now, I did every fucking thing. Actually, probably for legal purposes, I almost did everything on that thing, on that sheet of paper.
Sure.
So they made me write an essay. And you know what the essay was about, Sam? How to throw a better party.
Hey.
But we made, I think we didn't make $100,000 or anything close to that. But we used to do some crazy stuff, dude. We used to just have I used to get some of my boys who were on the football team. They would run security at the door and literally do it for $10-$20 sometimes. And just to flirt with the girls that would come in. Because when you're the security at the door, you get first pick on the girls that come through.
Yeah, of course.
So it was crazy, man. There was a lot of shit. We had holes in the wall by the end. We had a great time.
So would you say that's where your entrepreneurial journey started, from that moment?
So no, because I was doing stuff as early as selling things from the dollar store out of my house at Philly.
Okay. Yep.
But I think I always was interested in business. I always wanted to either be in banking or finance or be in business, but the reason I had never done anything crazy was because I think it was a combination of a lack of information or a lack of confidence. Because when you're 14 years old, you're not saying I'm going to go start a business. And then there were these other kids I remember in my high school who were starting these, trying to get funding for these startups. And they were just making crazy ideas. And they're like, oh yeah, I just got $10,000 for I went to one of those schools. There's a lot of really fucking smart people in there. They're really, really, really smart. I was one of them. I graduated top 50 in the school. There was 500-600 kids. But the thing is dude, I was yo, I want to do business. There's something calling me to do this. Actually, but we always talk about what are the vehicles going to be. I had ideas for transit apps. I had ideas for a solar powered electric heater that I drew the blueprint out for when I was 18. Not many people know that. But I did a bunch of stuff, and I was always oh, I'm going to sell this in some way. And I was watching Shark Tank and videos of Elon Musk and these guys and Richard Branson when I was 16, 17. I always knew, but I didn't understand how fundamentally easy business was actually to do. Business is product, $ between it, and then you, right? All you have to do is bring people to the product, and if the value exchange is there, they're going to pay for that product, right? It's like buying bottles in the club.
That's even like dating too. If your value is there, they're gonna pick that.
Exactly. And if you're buying bottles in the club, right? Yeah. You're paying $2,000 for a product because it is in a certain place and there's pretty girls around, and the girls like people who buy the bottles for the most part.
Those sparklers cost a lot though,
Sure. But on top of that, to wrap that story up, so what it allowed me to do is I was meeting everybody. Right. I was the controller and the host of the function, almost I admire actually your friend Michael Sartain. I like him a lot. And he's very much like that, where he likes to throw the events and organize the events.
Yep.
Right. So I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed throwing and organizing events. And I actually made money. I continually made money doing that for the rest of the college or university career.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
I didn't do it to the same level because it depends on if you have your people that you live with on board with it or not. But I didn't do it to the same level. But what happened was I got the skills to go up and talk to people. And then also, obviously, you start dating girls because you start to get some clout. And you start to, you throw all those, I was at your party. I was like, oh yeah, did you enjoy yourself? Whatever. So, and I started really just talking to everybody. And then there has to be a certain demeanor when you don't want to let guys in to the place, and you have to be very firm with people. And I think that whole experience of throwing parties and going out literally every weekend for almost 4 years really developed my ability not only to sell and have that demeanor, that kind of executive presence, that executive demeanor, but it also gave me the ability, and you know this as well, is if it's your party and you see a pretty girl at your party, what are you going to go do? You're going to walk up and talk to her.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
And the more you did that, right? Like the more I spoke with girls and I talked to girls, and even just talking to them, your sales ability, I was like, look, if I can convince, and at the end of the whole journey, right, I was like, if I can convince a pretty girl to go on a date with me or talk to me,
yep,
I can easily sell something to somebody to make some money, because I was
1,000%. Yeah, for sure. So that's where your sales ability started. College parties.
I was a natural. And the only thing that separates people and this is, this in dating as well, is the only thing that separates people from actually fulfilling their natural ability is confidence. Right. And it's the mental barrier that exists within them.
Definitely.
So yeah, so that's the story about the red cups. I threw a shit ton of parties, I had a lot of fun. And what happened was, after that, I started to get some money, right? Like, it wasn't anything crazy, but it was a couple $1,000 just, saved up, right? Like, probably the amount that people would go fuck off and move to Thailand or Southeast Asia.
Right.
So I started to get some of that shit together, and then by senior year, I got into drop shipping. I wanted to do different drop shipping ideas and different things like that. I never really had much success, but that's where I learned how to be a marketer.
Right.
So a lot of people say, oh, you're going to go waste a bunch of time in university. I don't think I wasted my time. I think it was absolutely incredible experience for the price that I paid for it. Yeah, I could have made more money if I had access to the information earlier. But you get in an environment where you're around a bunch of pretty girls. You get to literally do what you want every day. You don't even need to show up to class. I'm very fortunate that I really didn't have to study that much. And I literally got C's, because I knew, I was like, all right, I'm either going to sales or I'm going to go in business.
Yep.
I said, fuck going into finance. Let me change this light here. Like, fuck going into finance. Why would I need to do that when I already know how to make money?
Yep.
I was getting Shopify sales. I'd be out at the bar getting Shopify notifications and stuff. So, from for your time in e-commerce, when you start to experience these types of things where it's like you're starting to see through the cracks, right? You're starting to see through the matrix. There's a hack to the game. There's a hack to the matrix, that things are happening, and it's like, yo, like my other hustle that I had was Poshmark, and it was like fake Rolexes. Right. It was like Poshmark fake Rolexes. I remember I fell asleep one day. I was home from winter break, and I made $500, and it was 3 emails. It was he sold. I wasn't telling people that they were real. Yeah. Right. It's a replica on them, but Poshmark banned me because you're not allowed to sell fake goods.
Yeah.
It's hustles like that. I'm like, wait, I was asleep. I just made $500. I didn't have to go make sandwiches. I didn't have to put all this money and effort and energy into throwing a party and getting people to show up. I'm like, yo, what is going on here? There's something going on here. So that's where all of the abilities I could see, and looking back, obviously you don't realize it when you're in it, but looking back, all of those abilities start to get cultivated.
Well,
so
from anything, even your ability to understand your time, as you said, you're sleeping and you're making money. Yep. That's some crazy stuff. That's mind blowing to people that have only had 9 to 5s. They don't even understand that.
Yep.
And that's where it's just oh shit, it's now you're not limited to this 8-hour spectrum anymore. It's now 24 hours, always on.
Absolutely.
And my
Absolutely.
and that's great saying what you said. It's like as soon as you make internet money, you see the matrix for what it is, and you're like, oh, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're starting to get tingly every time you see it. You're like, oh shit.
And then when I got into sales, things started to change because it was like then my age was removed
Okay, yep.
from my income,
Yep.
right? Because I was just a voice on the phone, right?
Mm.
And then then you're like 22, you're making like, you get a check for 12, 13 grand, and you're like, yo, what? Like, yo, they told me I had to work all this time to make this. I had to work months and months and months to make this money. All I had to do was call some people on the phone. So once I realized my age could be removed from the amount of money I make, and my time also could be removed from the amount of money I make. I mean, yeah, we were getting hourly, but we were highly incentivized with commission.
Yep.
That was a beautiful, beautiful experience.
Yeah.
And then with my work ethic, right? And I had like some other e-commerce, like info product stuff going on still, but with my work ethic, I remember, and actually this is a story I'm gonna go into
Yeah.
because I want a lot of people to hear it. When I started out, literally in almost everything, I struggled. Like when I got into sales and I got my job in October until literally December for almost 2 months, I struggled. I thought I was dog shit, and I thought I was dog shit.
Yeah.
But the only thing I had was work ethic. The only thing that I had, I'll say that again, was the ability to sit down, literally tune out the world, and fucking work. The reason why is because I knew that the more time I put into something, and this was with sports growing up and things that like I remember I always had this work ethic, even with like stuff like golf. Like I know, Sam, you played golf. Like I would stay out on the putting green till 10 o'clock at night till they closed the lights off and everything. Like when I played lacrosse in high school, I would stay out on the wall and throw and take shots literally after practice, after I got home till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night until the field lights went off.
Yeah.
Right. I always have had that in me. Right.
Mm.
Even with my drop shipping stores that weren't being successful, I was up and I was getting literally thrown out of the university building by the campus police because they said I was trespassing when I broke my computer and I didn't have enough money. It was either buy a new computer or continue to run the business and run the advertising. Right. Like studying, I remember it was Jason Capital sales letters until the sun was coming up every day and then going to class the next day and continuing to work. It was like, it's a 24/7 thing. Right. Which I happen to enjoy in life when I have the ability to go work on things like that.
Mm.
But it's absolutely psychopathic, and it's tenacious, and it's literally why I attribute all of the success that I have now and why I'm so good at some of the things, and I've helped the amount of people that I have now. But I remember that I fucking struggled. I'm going to probably write a Twitter thread about this at some point, but I really struggled, bro. It was hard.
Yep.
I was 20. You have a kid who had just turned 22. He was like pretty much 22 years old, just turned 22 years old, a couple months before, calling business owners on the phone, trying to sell them a product that they necessarily don't believe in, really having to push to sell. Right. And you see all these other people around you who are just like getting deals done. And you have to adopt a certain type of mentality. You have to adopt a dominant mentality. If doing all of that and not being successful for like literally when you're not successful in something that you're spending like 12 hours a day, 13 hours a day, some days on, like your commute is 2 hours total, right?
Yeah.
Like an hour up, hour back, and you're working 10, 12 hours a day and you're in it and you're not seeing any results. It is so hard to continue.
Well, yeah, there's nothing to go from.
It was so hard. And I literally, bro, I became absolutely obsessive about learning how to sell. Sam, I became obsessive. I obsessed over it. I would literally, as soon as I got out of work, I would be listening to sales podcasts when I would drive home, music and sales podcasts. And on the weekend, I would be figuring out, dialing with a notebook, dialing in my process, auditing every single thing that I'm doing, right? What's going well? What's working not so well? Yep. What are things that I want to do that I haven't done yet, right? Like things like being more aggressive as a closer on the phone, different kind of talking patterns, different type of tonality, pitching in a certain way. And then number 4, what was holding me back from doing the things that I did. And my mentor Chima, who taught me literally everything about how to sell, shouts out to Sean, I don't know if he's listening to this, but he literally like would always sit down and say, what do you think is holding you back? I would literally, every single time I ask somebody that question, I hear his voice. What do you think is holding you back? And what that allows you to do is be brutally honest with yourself about where you're fucking up.
Yep.
If you're not brutally honest with yourself about where you're fucking up, how are you going to get better? Sam, what do I say to you when we get on the phone? I'm like, yo, like, how's everything going with the business? How's everything? Dude, what's holding you back? What do you think's holding you back?
Yeah.
And then you say, well, this, and this. I'm like, okay, well, go fix it. So there's, this light is kind of messing up, but there's literally those 4 things. You'll be great at anything you do. And then I remember that December, I crushed it and I hit my sales quota, and the sales quota was pretty high, but it was like, I thought the sales quota was a little crazy, but people did it because they had a system. They were consistent in their process. They were confident and they were competent at sales, and they had conviction in the thing that they were selling. So that's all you have to cultivate. Right. I said this yesterday when I interviewed Matt Kelly. Literally, consistency breeds confidence. Confidence creates competence, and competence creates conviction.
The 3 C's.
If you have conviction, you can do anything. If you're convicted and speak, you'll get people to listen. You're very good at that, right? If you're 100%. Confident in the thing that you're selling, and if you're confident in the thing that you're selling, you can be confident, but you might not know the answers to certain questions that people have. That means you're not competent. You don't understand it enough. But you could be confident, you could be competent, and you could be consistent in the way that you say things or whatever it is you say. Consistency is just reading off a script, reading off a list, a checklist, right? But if you're competent and you understand the things, but you might not be as convicted in the things that you're saying. You might say the right things and have the right response. You might be competent. You might know all the answers to the questions, but you don't believe in it.
Yeah.
You don't fucking believe in it. In order to do something and do something really, really well, you got to fucking fully 150% believe in it.
1,000%.
Regardless if you're passionate about it or not, right? Like guys who start marketing companies who don't really care about marketing, you're passionate about getting paid.
Yeah.
Right? You're passionate about getting paid. Guess what? You're going to stay consistent. You're going to become confident. You're going to become competent. You're going to get your shit done. Right? So that was the 2 years, selling over the phone was absolutely imperative in my success.
So would you recommend people do this? Would you recommend in terms of like, say a guy's there, he's like 18, 19, 20. He doesn't know what he wants. He wants to get into something. What would be the skill? Would it be sales, be the skill that would revolutionize his life?
Absolutely. 100%. Here's why. So, okay. So a lot of our audience overlaps, especially on Twitter.
Yep.
So I am co-founder and co-owner of Cashflow Syndicate. What it is, it's an education company where we teach sales, marketing, and how to run and start a marketing agency, right? How to acquire clients and make all the profit for yourself. No affiliate marketing, no stock trading, none of that. It's literally how to get money in.
Yep.
All this guys send this email, make the email look like this. Make the email look like, write the email like this, say this on the phone, ask these questions, sell it in this way. It's literally as cookie cutter and copy paste as you can get. And the best part is it fucking works. And I genuinely believe it's the best community in the world for people to go from zero to their first $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month online.
Yep.
Right. We're sticking with 0 to 3 because $3,000, I think when somebody has $3,000, they got some wiggle room, right?
Yeah, especially they get some balls about them.
But a part of Cashflow Syndicate inside, actually, I teach you how to get a sales job. Here's how you reach out to hiring managers. Here's what you say in the interview. Here are criteria that you look for to make sure you're just not getting some dog shit cold calling job for $40,000 a year, right? And then combined with that, you can go and you can use that information. There's probably been 10, 20 people, 30, probably 20, 30 people who've gotten sales jobs, whether that's closing for somebody else, whether that's outbound doing business loans or financing or debt restructuring. And actually my sales course that's inside there is literally the exact framework of how I sold and pitched debt restructuring. So like you guys could, like people could go in and try to become a mortgage loan officer, or sell merchant cash advances, or sell business loans for a larger company, right? And literally all they have to do is watch a 1 hour course and internalize the information there, and they'll be like number 10 they'll be in the top 10 in the company.
Right, just from that.
Because it's a system that works, right? And it's proven to work. So I tell every young guy to get into sales, and I tell every young guy to go start talking to fucking girls.
So apart from the money aspect that they're getting, give us some stories in which sales has helped you in particular ways that you wouldn't know. So the guys be like, okay, well, sales is going to be good for my money, but where else is it going to help it? So is there any stories that you specifically puts the nail, like sales was the only reason that this worked, or I got out of this, or I got this result?
That's a very interesting question. There are some stories where sales has helped me get through certain situations. But more so, I would say, so everything that you do in your life, you're selling yourself to somebody, us on this podcast, right? You, when you go talk to a girl in the club, right? Or you getting a client, or me getting a client, right? Everything that we're doing is sales. But you know what I think it has done for me specifically, Sam, is it is given me the ability to be more convicted and get my message across in every aspect of life. When I say every aspect of life, right? You know how to be likable, right? Not that like you have to try to make everybody like you, but you can, like when you go to the grocery store and you just chat shit with the girl who's at the checkout or the guys at the checkout and just make their day a little bit better. Right? Things you can do, like a smile, right? Or the way that you say things, right? Or the jokes that you make, right? Or the building of rapport. So it helps every aspect and area of your life. Like, dude, when I like stories like sales, sales was good for my money, but also sales got me out of the trenches, right? Sales got me out of my mom's house and into the penthouse, right? Like, I don't have one anymore, but I moved out of it when I was still living in Philly. I had a really nice place. And the thing is what happens is, dude, is like you start to approach life as like everything is sales.
One of the things you bestowed upon me was that. So you told me to go through the life, like, a day and see how many sales transactions there was. And you get to about like, I remember doing this like one day after we had a chat, and I was just like, yo, we got to like 18 or something, where I was like, that was sales, that was sales, that was sales, I was like, and then as soon as your reticular activation system's on it, you realize, as you just said, every transaction is a sale of value, of money, of experience, of emotion, anything. And that's with dating, relationship, as well as financial freedom, for sure.
Even like when me and Ricardo go to the club, right? Say we're in Miami, we go to the club, there's a line out the door, we don't want to go through the line. Me and Ricardo pulled up, we already have the guy's name in our phone as a contact. He doesn't know us from a can of paint, but yo, Jason, what's good, bro? Good to see you. Yo, come in. Or Ricardo will go up and speak Spanish, or anything like that, right? That's sales, right? It's like literally like just getting what you want, or like, building rapport with somebody to the point where they feel the power of reciprocity and they want to give you something, right? So like I use it now more so like when I wanted to start my companies and all the things that I do. I guess I can't really businesses. I don't have that many people working under me right now. And there's no board of directors, so I don't know if calling it a company or whatever. The things that I got going on now, it's all sales, bro. If I wasn't able to convince and not only persuade, but influence people with the spoken word or written content or the things that I put out. And I think what's beautiful is I did it without people knowing exactly what I look like. Right? People, I went back yesterday night, man. I was cleaning up like just some old tweets, just getting rid of some stuff that was just like random, like song lyrics and stuff. But I was going back and I saw like the couple tweets that like I knew that were gonna be crazy viral when I put, right, like the normie-to-playboy one. Then there was the other one, I make a yearly salary in a month and get girls you could never have the chance to talk to, right?
Of course. I was gonna bring those up later.
Bro, I knew there were gonna be bangers, bro. When I had the normie-to-playboy tweet, I grew what, 10% of my following in less than 24 hours.
What, 23 million, 22 million impressions in 24 hours or something?
23 million impressions in 48 hours.
Yeah, that's fucking
the other one, the other one was like, I saw it on some guy sent it in one of the Telegram chats, and he was like, oh, that some guy put David in this video. He's like, and he was talking about Twitter gurus being cringe. The thing is these people don't understand the game.
Yep.
The game is get as much attention as possible.
Yeah.
Right. Get as much attention as possible in some way, and be as dynamic about it as possible, so you can't be put into a box.
Yep.
Like, you know, I always said, I said to Matt Kelly yesterday, I said, if I wanted to have 50,000 Twitter followers right now, all I would do is talk about sales.
Yeah.
I would talk about one thing.
Just one thing.
I'd be really aim in the way that I tweet to appeal for mass appeal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck, dude. I curse, post pictures, traveling here, talking shit, calling people bugmen. I just went after the people, the digital nomads who live in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, you went after.
That's another thing that makes me mad if you want to talk about that, because we can talk about lifestyle and life maximization, because it's like, dude, like, how do these people, you can live in a sick villa, eat all day, you can eat avocados and prosciutto all day and get jacked, and steaks and those Balinese pancakes, and then open ocean swim, sit in the sun all day, and literally have access to the best training, some of the best training facilities in the world. Yeah. Bro, how are you not like, at least have like a little bit of chest muscle? At least, like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like,
it always reminds me of what Hamza says, which is like, you're still a Jeffrey at this point. You're still a Jeffrey. You're not Adonis. How are you not Adonis?
Choose to be elite, like even like physically imposing, right? To have some sort of physicality, or they could be in the fight gym, training Muay Thai or anything, or like be surfing, doing something productive, something fun, being lethal, being really good at the stuff they do, but they choose to be a fucking dork on a laptop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why not maximize every aspect of your life, especially when you're moving somewhere, you're living somewhere where the lifestyle allows it to happen? See, I live in Los Angeles right now. I can do all those things. It's sunny, it's beautiful every day. You lived in Los Angeles for what, 4 or 5 years? Yeah. You know how it is, except it's just a little bit expensive.
Yep.
The same things as the dudes in Bali, but it's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah. That's about it.
I think every guy, especially if you're like 18, 17. So we got a lot of cashless syndicate kids who are like 17, 18, and they're coming out and they're making money. They're making like $3,000-$4,000 a month. I tell them, like, dude, yo, there's a lot. Once you start doing this, like, start getting the other things right, because you have a head start on literally everybody. Yeah. Right. When I found like, Sam, when I was like 18, I don't know how old those are. You're what, 29 now?
28. Yeah.
Okay. You joined RSD when you were 23, right?
21. So just turned 21.
Okay.
So 7 years ago for you, which would be 18.
So 7 years ago. So that means I was like 18.
Yeah.
Right. So when I found your stuff at 18, it's like, bro, like, you know, it's when you have such an early advantage. Yeah. It's bro, like, what? Like,
that's how you're able to, like, you know, a lot of people, like, the men come to value when they're like 35 or something like that, when they get real money, or they really fucking always look about, like, they really unplug from the matrix at that point. Like, that's the point. Right.
Yeah.
But we've done it with a 10-year difference.
Yeah.
With 10 years on that. And that's fucking priceless. You can't put money on that at all. That is like, if you could ever bestow that upon someone, you'd pay hundreds and thousands of dollars just for that thing of that 10 years that you say.
How much would you sell 10 years of your life for?
Oh, you know, think of it, you know, what's the one that Brad Lee says? It's like, how much would you sell another day, like one day for, right? It was like they got up to like 25 million, and it's like you would literally trade one more day in life for $25 million. So you can't put 10 years on your life on top of that. That's fucking crazy.
Bro, I wouldn't sell a year of my life for shit right now, dude.
Yeah, I think
it's like, a lot of people say, you know, a lot of people piss me the fuck off when they say, oh, 6 months isn't that long of a time. Bro, 6 months is 1/20th of a decade. 1/20th of a decade. I'm like, oh yeah, I could stay for another 6. I remember when I was still in my sales job, I'm like, oh yeah, I could stay here for another 6 months. And I was like, wait, hold up. What can I do for 6 months? And bro, you know what I've done? I've literally doubled my income in less than a year. It just passed my 1 year anniversary of quitting. So like, I've really been only at this full force for like 9 months.
Yeah,
Right?
that's crazy.
What I've done in 9 months is more than I did there in 2 years.
Yeah.
In
No one,
terms
no.
of personal income, in terms of my own personal experience, bro. Like, dude, I've been in 11 different countries in the past year.
Yeah,
Been to
you've been
11
fucking traveling.
I've been to 11 different countries, bro. I built 3 different businesses. Like, I built like and a podcast. Like, we're crushing, bro. Moved across the country. I'm here. I'm on a yacht in Miami. I'm traveling here. With
And this is what,
soon me and you got to go meet up in Dubai, bro.
yeah, exactly. Well, this is one thing I want to get into about with you, which with I've seen a lot more going back to your Southeast Asia and stuff like these digital nomads. It's as if their identity is wrapped up in the ever pursuit of success, not actually getting success, not actually accomplishing anything. So they get there and they do the business and they're working that 12, 13 hours, as you said, but they're addicted to not even getting the result. They're just addicted to that cycle. And they're never going to get there because they're going to eventually jump on one trend, another trend, and they never get the success they want to. And it's almost as if you have to have an identity shift to be like, yo, fuck that. Let's put everything in fucking overdrive and get the shit that I want. Like, you actually want the result, not you think you want the result.
Yeah.
It's a big fucking thing.
That's a lot of with the online self-help and make money online crowd as well. Right?
Yeah.
People are all in the every pursuit. They always think the next book, the next thing, the next crypto coin, the next thing, like the next thing. And they end up joining all these programs and not actually getting any success because they do everything at 20%.
Yeah.
If you do everything at 20%, you're not like, there's that graph. I don't know the math on it, right? But it's just like, it's logarithmic versus exponential, right? A logarithmic curve, I don't know which way the thing is. A logarithmic curve is you start here, right? And you go exponential curve is you shoot absolutely, you go absolute parabolic and you go up.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, bro, like, if you're going to do something, you have to do it 150%, right? I took some calls, some one-on-one calls with some of the guys inside of my community. And, it was like 15 to 30 minute one-on-one calls, just, coaching, just getting an idea of where they're at, man.
Yeah.
And something I noticed it's something I noticed about myself, not what I noticed about them. Number one, actually, is 80% of the make money online or make money coaching is actually all mindset, right? The systems exist. If you follow this blueprint, you do this. If you send 1,000, if you get 1,000 leads, you send 1,000 emails and you reach out to them all 10 times, you're going to get a couple clients. You're going to make money. You're going to have business on your hands.
1,000%.
That is absolutely ironclad of fact. You have to be the worst salesperson in the fucking world to get 1,000 people to say no to you. You either have to be grotesque, ugly, or you have to curse them out and tell them that they're shit munchers. Anyway, something I noticed about myself is the ability to be absolutely present and in it. When you're doing something, you're like right now, from me talking to you, and we're friends, we talk all the fucking time, is when somebody's, oh yeah, whatever, bro, yeah, or they're on a podcast and they're not really there, they're not really actually responding to a question. But here, and people are going to see on this video, I'm actually like, I'm talking to you guys, like I'm talking to the camera, right? The mixture of tonality, the hand movements. It's probably just because I'm half Italian, but like literally like just being in it and the ability to be present when you're doing something. Like, you don't know how many people that I know, and I used to do it myself, because when you're on sales calls and you're going through the motions, you're kind of just, oh yeah, you're going through the motions. Don't allow yourself, especially if you're a young person, if you're a young guy or girl, do not ever allow yourself to just go through the motions. Because guess what? The guy like me or the guy like you, Sam, who's not going through the motions and understands that they have to be absolutely in it, that they have to be absolutely present, is going to run fucking laps around you.
Yes.
Bro, I am on my phone like 9 hours a day. I'm on my phone or computer. I have probably 10 to 11 hours of screen time a day.
Yeah.
Right. There was a period where I would literally tweet 20 times a day. I don't even know what the fuck I was tweeting about.
Yeah. True. I remember you telling me that.
But like, right. Like, now I have a lot of other things I'm working on. So now I'm on my computer more, but like literally, like, I'm always constantly building. And when I'm building, I'm absolutely present. Right. You put your music on, you get locked the fuck in, you get it done. Right. Most people are sitting there. Oh, I'm going to build this website. And then they're on their fucking phone scrolling Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Or they're taking TikTok breaks. right? Why? Right? I
Literally no
asked
reason.
this one young kid, bro. He's 17. He actually got on a call with me and Mason, bro. And he got on a call with us and he was like, yeah, so I feel like I'm not the best speaker, but I have this. I did this, and this, and here's what I've done, and here's what I've learned, and here's what I've done to move the needle. Right. And you know what I said to him, bro? That's all great, but you're bullshitting yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're doing too much of this on the computer and not enough of this, but actually getting in touch with people.
Yeah.
You're doing too much consumption and not enough action, right? Dude, when we started Cashflow Syndicate, bro, like we literally, dude, we didn't even have the landing page even built until an hour before we launched.
Crazy. In an hour,
Like,
you got that done.
Same landing page for almost 8 months. Like,
Yeah.
bro, we didn't have the landing page up until the day before, the day of, right? Like, but what did we know? We knew all we needed to do is put something in front of people and sell it.
Yep. Correct.
That being said, on top of that, you got to be absolutely present, right?
To it.
If you guys don't know what I mean by being present, it's like you have to be focused, right? And if you're not a focused individual, it's because you're fucking too distracted by what's going on Instagram, and you're too distracted by somebody else living their beautiful life, too distracted listening to the sampled podcast, or too busy watching Sam and me go to the club on Twitter and Instagram and have a great time and be on boats in Miami
instead of your shit. Yeah.
Why? Like, and so getting to my point, I asked the kid, he's like, oh, I'm working like 2 or 3 hours a day, but my family doesn't believe in me. And no one believes that this is going to work. They think I'm getting scammed. And I said, okay. I said, if you want to get your family on board, I said, I'm happy to talk to him. He didn't get his family, but if you want your family on board, go through the wins chat and show them all of the wins that all the things that people are accomplishing.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, oh, I'm working like 3 hours a day, but he's like, I really want to be successful at this. I want to make this my thing. Bro, you want to be successful, you're working 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
Damn, how many hours a day do you work, my friend?
Oh, well, like, the other day I'll give you I'll give the audience a bit of a thing. I think it was Wednesday night. So Wednesday, I had 4 sales calls. I then wrote a essay for myself, for my students. I went to the gym, went to the dentist, came back. Then I was about to go to sleep because I had a lecture at 3 a.m. in the morning till 5. Couldn't go to sleep. Went fuck it. Went to the club, networked, grabbed some girls' numbers here and there. Then did the lecture till 5 a.m. Then woke up, went to bed 6 because I was fucking steaming. Then had client calls from 10 till 4.
It's about 20-hour day, right?
Yeah, that's about 20 hour day. Now I could tell you back in RSD the type of shit that we used to do. And people ask me like, yo, how did you develop it? And I was like, well, when you do something humanly you didn't think possible, everything doesn't relate. It's like you've taken that extension, the 36 hours, 48-hour days, and you're just like, yo. So I'll give you the, I don't know. Do you even know the schedule for the RSD schedule?
No, I think you told me a little bit, but
yeah. So it was like, I'll give it the audience a thing, and then you can tell me like exactly how you got to the motivation that you have. But in order for that, we got conditioned where it was like, okay, Thursday you flew into a new city, so you already got the 2-hour flight. You're already preparing for that. So it might be LA to like San Francisco, LA to Seattle, or something like that. You get in, you check into all the hotels, and so then you'd have to set up at 7 p.m. for a boot camp, right? And because I was assisting with Owen, there was 9 students, not 3, right? So you had 9 people to deal with, right? So I would do a talk from 7 p.m. till 10 with Madison. Then we would go to the club and go from 10 till 6 o'clock in the morning, right? So for that day, you've woken up at 11 or 10 in the morning, and now you're going to bed at 6 a.m. in that. You would then sleep till 2. Then you would go out and shoot video blogs all of that Friday. All of Friday was video blogs. Right. So from after that, then you would go till 10, the students, from 10 till 6 a.m. again. Then, so you're at 6 a.m. This is 6 a.m. Friday, Saturday morning. You then had to wake up 4 hours later, right, for a whole day of hot seat, a whole boot camp on top of that. So the Saturday was the worst day because you'd be on 4 hours sleep, right? You would be coaching from 10 a.m. in the morning till 7 talking, then have to go on boot camp. So you're on 4 hours sleep. You've literally worked for 12 hours. Then we used to grab a red eye flight back to LA because I was with Owen and Owen would want to. And so we'd have to stay up for that. Or we would have to go from 6 a.m. on the Sunday. So the Saturday, the Sunday, to finish off the video blog with the lights and all that stuff. So you probably say I could literally show you. So that Saturday, you could be up anywhere between 24 to 36 hours regularly. And when you develop that shit, you understand, oh, my 3 hours a fucking week, it ain't cutting it. Because some motherfucker like me is doing it for 26 hours on the minimum.
Yeah. I did that. I believe I pretty much did that yesterday. So I worked
last night. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Not last night. Not last night. Because I did get a little bit of sleep, but I'm on I've been on like vampire hours ever since I got back from Miami.
Yeah.
But yesterday I interviewed Matt Kelly. If no one knows who Matt Kelly is, he owns Space Goods. Yep. He's a really cool guy, really philosophical thinker, like very ambitious guy. And he has a crazy story. He had like a Ferrari at 24, like from e-commerce, like fucking killer, right? But I woke up, dude, and it was like I went to sleep at 8 in the morning and I woke up at 11 to do the podcast. Yep. And the day before I was working on a bunch of stuff. So, and just moving, right? Like just moving, right? And now I'm actually very fortunate because I get to structure my day however I like, because I'm not really, I'm starting to pivot one of the businesses, and you and I spoke about it. I think it's a great idea. I think it's going to crush. I'm starting to pivot one of the businesses. So I'm doing some thinking about that. And then also working on 2.0 version of Cash Flow Syndicate. I don't know if it's going to be out by the time you release this episode. Yeah. It's going to be so much more straightforward. It's going to be like, if you're starting out, do this, and this, and then you make money. Yeah. That's all I'm really going to say on it. If you want more information, you can go cashflowsyndicate.io. Also, I'm launching a credit product because there is so many people who genuinely are, I don't even know the word to say. They are not screwing people over, but they're kind of screwing people over, and they're taking people's money and making them invest in certain different programs and things. And they're all basing it off of the premise of credit, right? Stuff like, and I've been seeing a couple of these, right? You get some credit, right? Oh yeah, go get some business credit for a business you don't have, right? Or revenue that doesn't exist. Yeah. First off, revenue doesn't exist. That's already fucking illegal. For a business you don't have, and then invest 50 grand in my Amazon automation store. And the way that they sell it is, can you afford $500 a month? And you end up getting like a fucking 10 to 30 year personal loan to take out this fucking loan. And you're paying $300 a month for their Amazon automation store. And that guy takes off their money and you're fucking held liable and you're fucked. Dude, I've been seeing too many of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to crush every single person who has a credit product in the world. I am building currently right now the best product around credit, the best info product course, whatever, around credit, how to maximize business and personal credit, and kind of everything across the board, how to get multiple six figures in 0% interest credit. That is going to be completely comprehensive, and it genuinely is going to be the best product in the world. So working on that, putting that together, I think that's going to be really cool, because it's going to be like, the way I think about my stuff that I do now, especially with the personal brand that I've built, is I have so many different areas. And I spoke with you about this a while ago, so many different areas and so much vision for the things that I want to do, that actually my best friend, Jack, so he is in the music industry, and he says the same thing that you do is the same thing of how we look for artists, right? What's your vision? Right? What do the first 4 albums look like? What are the titles? What are they going to what are they going to be composed of? Right? Yeah. It's the same thing for my vision with, okay, so I'm going to build this company, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and this company, and then this product, and then I'm going to tack on this product and create this product to have this type of impact in this different industry. Yep. I know I just said a lot there, but I have a multi-year vision. When I realized Twitter was going to be a thing, or social media was even going to be a thing, I had the vision right away, right? Because the ability to be a dynamic individual is what separates you from the pack, right? I just spoke about sales, or I just spoke about girls, or I just spoke about this or whatever mindset, mentality, or I just made jokes about people and made people mad.
Yeah.
I'd be put into a box.
Yeah. Who are you influencing?
You put people into a box. You think of guys like Elon Musk, like Kanye West, they've done so many different things. Even Drake, right? With this new Drake album.
Yep.
People continually try to put Drake in a box, right? Or Kanye in a box. And he's just done so many things. He's done fashion, he's done design, he's done music, he's done this, clothing, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. Elon the same way. They thought, oh, he's the PayPal guy. He's the Zip2 guy, right?
Yep.
No, now I'm buying Twitter, fuckers.
Yeah.
44
Exactly.
cash, swinging his dick around, smacking people with it, right?
Yes.
So when you have vision, you have a bigger plan. And this gets me into another point that I was talking. I've been having this idea. In order to be successful, you need three things. Number one, you need a vision of where you want to go. Whether you want to be a billionaire, you want 100 million, you want 1 million, you want $500,000, you want a lifestyle, you want to live on the beach in Bali and sit on a laptop and be a pilot, right? Whatever you want to do, you need a vision, right? Then you need to reverse engineer that vision into a plan. Okay. Reverse engineer that vision into a plan. Then that plan, right? You need to actually work and achieve that plan. Okay. If you don't, you need absolute relentless work ethic, 13, 15, 16 hours a day to do that.
Yep.
Then if the plan changes, you still have the same work ethic. The work ethic never can change.
Never change.
Everything else can change. Everything else is absolutely variable.
Yeah.
Ethic isn't.
Yes.
So, babe, you're going to, do you have my car keys? Are you driving? Okay. All right, love it. We'll cut that.
That's all right. Keep it in.
So that being said, bro, it's like,
yeah,
that's all you need. Like with you and what you're doing, I think it's very interesting because I kind of, not that I want to take credit, but I fucking want to take credit.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Build the systems that exist for yourself on Twitter, right? The way that people sell live, or the way that people sell live, or use a mixture of live, spoken word, and written content in order to sell some sort of either mentorship program or
your next product. Yeah, that's why I said your next product should be a fucking Twitter product. I'm not gonna fucking lie about that. 1,000%. Not even that. Just like, not even like you need the hundreds of thousands of followers, which will come to pass, but just the beginner structure that you gave me, which was amazing. You know, and so like I had a plan, I had a vision, and I executed mine, and it was to find people that knew what the fuck they were doing, and you knew exactly what the fuck you were doing, right? To a degree, because again, this is what I always say: social dynamics. You're without knowing, you're changing the image and the identity that everyone has about you every time you tweet, every time you put content out. And this is a great thing. There's a fucking quote that I'm going to put. It's just like, the image of you that you have of yourself only lives with you, and every other person has a completely different image of who you are. And so you think that everyone knows exactly who you are, and they've got no fucking idea, and you have to put content out in order for them to understand who the fuck you are. That is like 101 for that. You know, basic level understanding. And so with you were able to tell me like, yo, this is how you influence. This is how you persuade with written word. This is how you get a crew, a cult like following. And just like push. And your fans are fucking avid, bro. They're insane. They're very insane. Like in the best way possible. To like live, breathe, and die. And that's how you're able to get so many people that are doing so well with the stuff that you're teaching them, is because they're living and breathing the words that you're saying. And that's really what you want.
Belief.
Yeah.
You don't, something that people all the time do is, if you don't believe in yourself, how the fuck is anybody else going to believe in you?
Yeah.
Why is anybody else going to believe in you?
No one is. Yeah, exactly.
At some point, you got to realize, like, yo, like, dude, you're the shit, right? You got to look in the mirror and be like, oh, I'm the shit, man. Like, I'm really like, I'm crushing it. And the more people do that, and we'll get into Twitter, because I really think Twitter's interesting, right? Like,
yeah.
But I saw people do it, but I perfected it, right? One of my friends, right, my boy Dan, cold email, shouts out cold email, that boy email. He was like, he's kind of the godfather of money Twitter at this point. Because he's done what he's done in such a short amount of time.
Yep.
Right. He made cold email popular. Right. He's got 80,000 something Twitter followers. Right. You got Lawrence King, you got J.K. Molina, you know, the homies. But when I looked at these guys, I was like, okay, well, what are they doing? How can I do it better? Right.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why I kind of created the system that I created of how to actually go and literally go from 0 or go from 1,000 followers to, even if you have 1,000 followers, it doesn't matter about what your following is. It's what the product is and what the offer is, right? Where are your, and if you have enough verifiable seats and verifiable successes, what's going to happen? People are going to be like, oh, wait, this guy's not just another one of these accounts spouting shit, these anon accounts spouting shit.
Yeah.
Talking shit, right? Most people on Twitter talk shit and they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about half the time.
Yeah.
Right? When you genuinely have verifiable results and you're good at what you do and you sound like you're good at what you do and you believe in yourself, it's very easy to build a following. It's very easy to get someone from 0 to, let's say, 5,000. Like, dude, we got kids in Cashflow Syndicate that just started out, they're making 10 grand a month, right? 3 months later, they're making 10 grand a month, right? The reason why is because it is my job to be the big brother that makes them believe in themselves.
Yep.
You don't, like, look, the shit works, right?
Yeah.
Our system works, all this stuff works. All you need to do is believe that you can do it. Genuinely believe that you can do it and don't sit there and lie to yourself. Most people in life, they sit there and they lie to themselves. They think that they're better than they are. Realizing that you're not as good as you think you are is the first step to actually being successful.
True.
But
I think one of the big things with you was irrefutable evidence too. Irrefutable. Can't even dismiss it.
Bro,
can't even fake that.
Yeah. In so many areas too, bro. Like there's I was talking about the red pill alpha guys, man, yesterday. You see that? You saw that, right?
With the one with I don't pay for girls. Yeah, that one.
Talking about I don't spend money on girls. Dude, no girl is you've been with some beautiful women, so have I, right? I'm in a very happy relationship now with a beautiful woman. I've had really, really great relationships in the past for the most part. Well, some of them are really great, some of them not so great, right? We all like, bro, like you're not going to get a chick that looks like mine or the girls that you hang out with and girls you spend money on, right? Yeah. You're not trying to split a $20 bar tab. If you're trying to split a $20 bar tab. If you sit there and you take girl out to dinner and dinner's $400, $500, bro, I take my girl on dates all the time. Dinner's $500.
Yep.
I don't even look at the fucking bill.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't even look at the bill because guess what? And this goes into a larger point. You got to stay in your lane. Stay down until you come up.
Yeah,
right? There was I couldn't afford that shit. $300 is all I had.
Yeah.
Right now, that's dinner. Right, that's a bottle of wine. It's a steak at dinner, and it's some appetizers. Right, and the fact that I do that, like, you're not going to get a girl that looks like mine, or looks like the girls you hang out with, or a couple of our other friends who have really, really pretty girlfriends. You're not going to get those girls if you're trying to.
Yeah, exactly. Why are you trying to make the game harder than it is for yourself? You know, it's already fucking difficult as it is. It's like, and then by that mentality, you're just shooting yourself in the foot.
Every person, I think, on planet Earth wants to have a fairy tale romance.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. Even you and me, right? If we're completely honest with ourselves, we want to meet a girl. She's absolutely perfect. We fall in love. Right?
Italian villa.
Right. But I think a lot of the time is like this narrative, right? And this is like coming from somebody who's been in the space for literally in the red pill space for 7 years.
Yeah.
Right. I've seen it develop, and the narrative has shifted so much.
Yeah.
Right. On both sides. Right. And you have this culture where it's a very, I don't know if misogynist is the word, but you have this culture that's been created where it's like, don't pay for girls and be an asshole. Like, bro, be a gentleman to girls. Be a gentleman to women. The most beautiful women in the world, they want a gentleman. Okay, yeah, you might have had some hoes in the past, right? But you're with her, and or you're very you're flirty and charismatic, and like you're a gentleman, and everybody respects you everywhere. Like, you have all the attributes, bro. Part of having that attribute is being financially successful, having the freedom to do what you want to do, and also having the freedom to do things with her all the time.
Well,
right?
yeah, you know the people that I've run up on, and it's just like there is no way in history that if you're just like, oh, hey, can we split the fucking bill or do this or do that? We teach the 7 pillars of status, and one of the biggest pillars is financial freedom. It's like if you want to split that $20 bottle of wine, you have a bigger problem there. If you can't afford it, then you should be trying to run up on these girls. You should really be like, you know what? Do I need to be doing this right now where my life
Exactly.
is in the fucking shithole?
Exactly, bro. Like
You have a
also
bigger
on top,
problem. Yeah.
also I can even extend this to a larger point. You know how many DMs I get that say, what separates you from other gurus like Luke and Hassan? Like Luke and Hassan are my fucking boys, right?
Yeah, of
What
course.
separates you from other gurus and your program from other programs? Bro, listen, if you got that big of an issue justifying a $12 or a $44 decision, right? If you want to join for a week or for a month,
Yep.
if you got an issue justifying a $12 decision that is less than the cost of a fucking Chipotle burrito, you
Yep.
have a bigger problem, my friend.
Yeah.
You have a
100%.
bigger problem,
Yeah.
right? If you need all this information to get you to buy something, bro, what?
You're already stuck behind the 8 ball. Yeah.
You're
100%.
already running from behind, bro. You're already
Yeah,
playing.
exactly. And that's why you said
But
a lot of the time is mental frameworks.
it's mental framework, bro. It's like, dude, like, I'm somebody like I like to reverse engineer things and see how people are doing things and how people are like I need the systems. If I got the process, dude, I can make it happen.
Yeah.
Right. If I got the game and I get the framework, I can make anything happen. Right. If I understand how something's done, I can make it happen. If you teach me how to put a watch back together and I let's say I have a video, right, of somebody taking apart a watch, I could probably, if I sat there long enough, I'd be able to put it back together.
Yeah.
I'm like that in every aspect of my life. But let's go back to dating and girls really quickly. These guys who are going out with girls, like, dude, it is absolutely unattractive, right? I said when I interviewed you for my podcast, which has gotten such an incredible response, bro. Dude, the most beautiful women in the world, the girls with all of the attributes that you want, right? And you teach guys where to hang out to find them, right? Sam, let me ask you the question, bro. How expensive are the tables on which in the clubs that girls are on in these places?
Yeah. I mean, even even last night it was like, I don't know, like we're talking, upwards of 10K. Yeah. Even today, the thing that I'm going to after this, 25K, just for that.
I have a great relationship. I just so happen to meet my girl in a club at a $10,000 table.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Literally like as close to perfect as I could get.
Yeah.
Everything I've wanted.
Yep.
And I was in the right place at the right time because I had elevated myself enough as a man, as a 24-year-old, putting in work to be able to be in a situation where I'm able to meet that person.
100%.
Right place, right time. And any guys listening to this, and I'm sure there's a couple girls, but any guy listening to this, man, like, you have to elevate yourself and do the work. Like, you got to be established. It doesn't matter how old you are, right? Iman Gaji is a great example. He's always been a huge inspiration to me, and I hopefully I can make his acquaintance one day, and speak to him in a format like this and for an interview or something like that. But that kid, guy's 22 years old. I'm not going to call him a kid. He's a grown ass man, but he's 22 years old. He's worth 8 figures, and he behaves like he's a lot older. He's elevated himself to the status that he is. He is the fucking man, and he knows it too. And he moves like it too in the way that he speaks, right? And the shit that I see him do. Cool dude, right? Yeah. And the thing is age doesn't matter. You can be 19 years old. There's 19-year-old TikTokers out here making millions of dollars in the club where you need to be 21. They just get let in pulling up in a Lambo.
Yeah, well,
I've seen it. I've been there, right? So as a guy, you got to elevate yourself to maximum capacity, right?
Yep.
You have to. And there's even like, I look at my life and there's things that I want, right? I want a faster car and I want a nicer house, right? And I want maybe I want a jet and a yacht. I have to do so many more incredible things and make a fuck ton of money and increase the scale of reference in my framework that I operate in order to get there.
Yes.
We have to scale. We have to work. We have to work because by chasing materialism, you actually chase excellence.
Yeah.
Dude, if you want to live a life that nobody gets a chance to live, You need to pursue money. Number one, you need to pursue excellence in every aspect of life. One of the aspects of life is money buys you freedom. I say this all the time. You know, I say this all the time. Money buys you freedom, and freedom buys you experience.
Yeah.
I would rather drive to the beach in a Lambo than a Toyota.
100%.
I would rather work my ass off to be able to afford things that people aren't going to afford, and travel places and go to clubs and go to and restaurants that people are never going to be able to go to in their life, and travel all around the world and experience everything that the world has to offer. The thing that you need the most to do that is money.
Money. Yeah. It's just the fundamental. It's the foundation of it all.
Right. And then Sam, how do you get money? Oh, you have to work. Well, okay, I get money by working, but it's not enough money to do the things I want to do. Okay, so I have to start a business. I have to figure it out, right? What number do I need? And you start to work backwards, right? Vision, plan, work ethic.
Execute. Yeah. And that's why it's like that one. It's almost like if you have work ethic, that is the cheat code to the game that can't be cheated at, but you have a little bit of a cheat code there. I always talk about this within value, like especially status game and value game and stuff. It's like Kevin Samuels always talks about this. You're in this game that cannot be cheated. You can't cheat the game. You're still in the game. All you can get are cheat codes that help it, that help you execute the missions in life. And so things like, remember back in the day, like Grand Theft Auto, you do the fucking like L2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and you get the fucking guns, right? But you'd still have to do the fucking missions. And sometimes when you're playing that when Tommy's doing the helicopter challenge with the fucking bombs in Vice City, no matter what gun you fucking got, no cheat code, that shit's still fucking difficult, right? The end goal is still difficult, but it's like, at least, with your stuff, with my stuff, they're the cheat codes that make everything a little bit easier. You still got to play the game, but they make everything a little bit easier. They allow you to have that fucking gun that you wanted to in Vice City, or, that faster car in Need for Speed, Grand Theft Auto or some shit.
Yeah.
So, and that's life, people, one thing they don't even want to accept it, that this is the way life is. And it's like, but even the way that you're accepting life is the matrix. You're already in there. You're so far fucking deep, it's not funny. And
I said on the Twitter thread that I wrote, I keep talking about Twitter, but I said on the thread that I wrote that most of the time it's they sell you a dream and give you a nightmare, and and the nightmare is a prison sentence that most people don't even know they're serving.
Yeah.
I guess I escaped the matrix when I was 24. So last year, technically, right?
Yep.
And actually, do you know who Christian LeBlanc is?
Yep.
He's a travel blogger.
Yeah.
I saw a video from him,
yeah,
dude, and it was February in 2021. I watched it the other night again, because I remember hearing his story about how he was 23 and he was working in accounting, and he quit his job and he saved up 25, and he was like sick. He was like physically sick and nauseous. And I remember having the same feeling towards the end. Physically sick and nauseous that he had to go to this job, right? His accounting job.
Yeah.
And he's like, I saved up within a month. I was able to save up $2,500 and book my one-way flight to Thailand. Bro, I was watching this, dude. And I remember when I watched that video, after I watched that video, I checked my bank. I had like 70 G's in there. And I said, if I had $2,500, right, I had like 70 G's, and I had over 6 figures because I had like stocks and investments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I fucking check it, and I'm like, yo, this dude left for $2,500. I got 70 grand liquid. I don't even know what the fuck. And I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
Working for what?
Yeah.
At 24, where my vitality is at a maximum, right? Where my energy is at a maximum. I'm like, yo, this shit is gonna. I said, I don't think I can do this for much longer. So I call my boy Jack. Right?
Yeah.
Call up Jack. I say, yo, Jack, I'm coming. Right. I slept on, and so I had a nice place in Philly. I had like nice penthouse apartment, floor to ceiling windows, nice shit, right? I had a waterfall shower with jets on the shower. It was G. But I was like, yo, like, okay, like, you know what? Fuck it.
Just do
I need to, sometimes in life, we have to reevaluate our situation and create and recalibrate exactly where we're at, right? I call it recalibration period. And it's when you move into a different season in your life.
Yep. Okay.
I'm like, yo, I'm coming, right? I'm on a flight the next day. And this is like middle of February. I think it was like February 17th or something of last year. And so I came and I moved with Jack because they actually, at my job, they had switched us over they had switched me over to process like these loans, and they guaranteed us like a certain amount of commission. So I knew I had money coming in. All I had to do was click some buttons on the computer. Cool.
Yeah.
I worked 2 hours a day, and like literally I fucked off all day, and then I worked 2 hours a day and I clicked some buttons. So, and I would clock a fuck ton of overtime because fuck. Then on top of that, I went and moved with him, and I slept on an air mattress right over here in LA. I slept on an air mattress in his living room. And what happened was I laid the infrastructure for literally everything that I do now.
Right. I
would sit at the glass desk in the kitchen on my laptop, and we would hang out all day. We'd work out, we'd do push-ups and everything in the house. I brought like an exercise band, and like we had like a push-up and a pull-up thing, and we would work out every day. I would work out every day.
Yeah.
We'd go on drives at night and talk about life and really be like, okay, this is where we want to be by next year. This is where we want to be. This is what we want our lives to look like.
Yep.
And I learned about some crypto stuff, and I put some money in some crypto projects, but I knew I had money coming in from my job. And so I studied email marketing, and I was like, I have an idea, because I already gotten a couple clients for it in the past, like a couple months ago at this time. And I was like, I was like, I really want to do this. I think I'm going to make this my thing. I think all I need to do is figure out my own shit that I can sell.
Yeah.
Right. What's that going to be? And actually, one of the things that I wrote down was I want to build a personal brand. And I looked at how Logan Paul and Jake Paul built their personal brands, right? How they create attention. You looked at it, and I was on Twitter already. And I was looking at all these guys, how they blew up, like guys like my friend Daniel, like a couple other people, like looking at how they blew up and how they create attention, right?
Yep.
And I never thought that was going to be part of what I do. I thought I was just going to run a marketing agency, and I was going to provide this service to small businesses. I knew how to sell to small businesses very well. So I laid the infrastructure. I get a call. This is about a month. I'm just laying the infrastructure. I'm like just chilling. I'm like really like dialing in. I'm learning strategy and consuming, right? No crazy type of, I didn't take any crazy type of action, because it felt good to be working on a new project and being back in the trenches, sleeping on an air mattress, like from which I came, right? When I was making sandwiches mattress in a roach infested apartment with no heat in it during the winter. Right. So it felt really good, right? It felt just really good chilling with my boy.
Yeah.
I got back, and I ended up moving out of the place I was at in Philly, and I moved back to my mom's in April. I had the craziest month. For 1 month, I moved back. And it was I was 23 still, and it was right before I turned 24. And it was April, and I crushed it. I was back, bro. I came back with no pipeline, back in sales, literally no pipeline, no rollover deals, everything. Smoked. I think I finished like number 8, right? Out of 40, 50 people.
Yep.
But the difference between number 8 and number 3 was like a deal or two, right? It was really
bad. Yeah.
And then on top of that, I had money that I made from some stock plays and some crypto DeFi investments, where I had Pancake Swap go like 8x, right? So I made like 32 grand in the month of April. And then when I cashed out after I'm pretty much on my birthday in May. Yeah. At the end of the next month, actually, so I got really sick right after I had that crazy month, right? I got really sick. I got strep throat 3 times, back to back. And I never took a lunch. I never took any time off, right? I never took sick time off. I never took PTO. I never took time off. So I literally was sick for a month, and I took a month off of work because I had so much PTO and sick time. And I was fucked, bro. I couldn't speak. My throat was so swollen. I was on antibiotics. I was bad, bro. It was really bad. And I said to myself, I remember laying in bed. I was like, I had like 100-degree fever, couldn't speak. 23, about to turn 24. And I'm like, I think this is the world's way of telling me it's time to move on. Yeah. After I had just laid all of the infrastructure and all the systems and learned everything that I needed to do. Right. And then I just came off a big month where I just got a super big paycheck. Yeah. Right. That month I cashed out on stocks, crypto, and my commission, right? All the plays that I made. I think I took home like $32,500 in my pocket. Right. So what did I do, Sam? So then they tell us, hey, look, we're cutting everyone's commission in half because we can't continue paying because so many people did well and we can't continue paying people that much money. Right. And then they give us shitty leads to work. And then so 2 weeks later, I said, fuck it. June 18th, 2021. I said, fuck it. I said, the same for me anymore. I have to go I have some other things that I'm working on. I'm going to go do my own thing. That week, then next week I was on a flight to Europe. I spent all the money I made in May. I spent like 30 grand in like 2 months, 2.5 months. I was balling. I was staying in 5-star hotels. Me and my boy Ronnie were chartering boats, running around, acting crazy at the club, popping bottles every night. Right. But it bought me a shit ton of experience and something I needed to do. So when I went back, so this is like a, a 5-month period of like, extreme lows and extreme highs, and then really extreme highs. And then when I came back home for a month, I had already spoken with my boy and I already had an apartment out in LA. Right. So I literally made a change. I was like, yo, I'm going to move across the country. I stayed locked in back home in Philly for like 3 weeks. And I pitched a bunch of people for marketing services. And I started building the real foundation of that one business.
Yeah.
Flew out to LA and I built the majority of the business within like literally like a month and a half, sitting on a folding chair on the desk that I'm currently sitting at now. So then that's the foundation for that. Not only that, but for my whole Twitter following. When I got back from Europe, I had just cracked 1,000 followers on Twitter.
Yep.
Right. I launched Cashflow Syndicate at 1,800 followers. Right. I have 19,000 now.
Yeah, about closing in on it.
Yeah. Actually, no, I just hit 19,000. So
shit, fuck, that's as of last night to now.
As of like, dude, I'm at 19,000. So like I launched and then we launched that, and then that was an instant success. And I underestimated how successful anything would be, man. Yeah. Like I remember when I got back and I had like not a clue in the world of what I was going to do.
What you're going to do
within a month. Within a month, literally I was able to monetize my Twitter and I had marketing clients.
That's crazy.
Like, bro, shit started fucking moving. Like I literally went from like 0 again to like 20 G's a month.
Just right back into it.
Like right out of the gate, bro. Literally zero income whatsoever to 10, 20, 15, 20, whatever it is. However much is coming in now. I don't even really count. All I know is how much I'm spending.
Yeah. I always talk about, go on.
As long as you don't check the bank, the money never runs out.
I love it.
I just spend it, dude. I'm probably a little bit psycho with the spending, but I know how to make money now. So
like McGregor says, I have a healthy obsession with spending, but I also have a healthy obsession with making money too.
If you're spending 20 grand a month and there's still money left, that means you're making.
Yeah, it means you're 5 grand. If you're making 20, if you're spending 20, making 25, you got 5 grand off. You're good. You're
exactly.
Yeah, you're still making money.
So that's how I look at the world. And it's like, I still like I really enjoy working and I like building incredible stuff. And at the end of the day, I'm a product guy, right? Yeah. I'm a creative. I've spoken about this with the podcast I did with Matt yesterday. And then the one I did with Mason is like, dude, I used to want to be a guitar player, right? I'm a creative, right?
By nature, yeah.
And what I'm really in love with and passionate about is the ability to be creative and the creative process, right? And when you can create the best shit in the world, and the best shit in the world really helps people and really makes people successful. Yeah, you make money in the process, right? I'm not doing any of this shit for free, right? I don't want anybody to listen to this and think I'm doing this shit for free. No, I have a vision. I want to get rich as fuck. But if I can help people and impact their lives and also help them get rich as fuck, that means we got a business on our hands. And that means it's actually incredibly fulfilling.
It's a win-win.
So I really dude, I love it. And
when you can find that passion too, that's a big thing.
I love it, dude. And if you told me when I came back from Europe or when I was boozing with my friend on a boat in Europe, just talking shit, riding around, being like, yeah, 3 months from now, I'm going to have an education company.
Yeah.
Or we're going to have a however many figure valuation it is right now, but we're going to have a massive education company and we're going to be able to scale it to dude, we want to do $1 million a month.
Yeah.
It's
That's great.
absolutely possible. We like our goal for next year is to scale it to at least 500,000 a month,
Mm.
right? 500,000, a million a month, but why stop there? Right?
Keep it going as much as possible.
Exactly. So it's like, when I think about that, it's like, if you told me last year, actually, no, fuck that. If you told the 17-year-old version of me, David, by the time you're 24, you're going to have, and I just turned 25.
Yep.
By the time you're 24, David, you're going to have a successful marketing company, a education company, and a podcast along with the successful info product, whatever shit that you do. You're going to have three different streams of income technically. And then like, they're all going to have massive success and you're going to be able to play in so many different arenas. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. That's what's up. And those incomes come from spur of the moment ideas too. You don't even know where they're going to come from half the time. They just come to you. It's like, you're not even trying to be like, oh, where are my 4 streams of income? You're just like, oh, that'd be cool. Do that.
Yeah.
And you have
end
the,
up just doing stuff.
yeah, and you have the
Bro,
conviction too.
something I admire about you as well. And it's like, the ideas that you are going to have come from ideas that you don't have yet.
Yeah.
Right? Like what you're doing now, I don't know if you want to talk about, but I think it's fucking sick.
Yeah.
It came from an idea to build upon an idea that you had when I said, yo, you should start a paid community.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just what's the next step, right? And then if you think and something I want to tell everybody, whenever you plan stuff out and you think that there's a next step, right? Whatever that next step is, I want you to think even bigger.
Yeah.
It's something I'm doing now, right? And I can probably say that I'm going to build at least an 8-figure company within the next year.
Yeah.
Right. Because I said, okay, well, I can just do this. I was in my head, I was like, okay, you can just do this thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, wait, why just limit it? Right. And most of the time when you want to make money, it's like you need something that's going to be that vehicle. And a lot of the vehicles that you're in, it limits you to a certain level of income, right? I can say a marketing agency, if you want to get to $500,000 a month in a marketing agency, you need 40 giant clients. So that means you need to do 4,000 cold calls, 40,000 emails. You need 40 giant clients, all paying you 10, 20 grand a month. Right. Yeah. Like if you want to do this, like if you want to do 10, 20 grand a month plus performance fee on these giant companies, it's like, you got to be really good.
Yeah. Well,
right?
fuck yeah.
You got to be really good. You got to be really good. And also you're going to have a giant team to manage those 40 people. Right. But I genuinely think if you want to start an agency, agency is the easiest business model to start. Right. Service. Yeah. All you got to do is outreach. You get on a meeting and close a couple people. It takes 1,000 leads. Right. You want to do 20, 30 grand a month in an agency. All you need is 1,000 leads, and those 1,000 leads take you 6 months to work through. Bro, it's simple.
Execute.
10, 15, 20 grand a month, 30 grand a month. That is when you have escape the matrix money. Right? You've seen it. You're doing really well now, bro.
Yeah. Like, well, thanks to you, brother. I
appreciate that, bro.
Man,
but it's like when you start to do these things, you start to escape the matrix, you start to understand the reality of the world. Yeah. Right. Okay. 100%. All I need to do is, and then what happens is your frame of reference changes as well.
Yeah.
The frame of reference changes, bro. It's like, oh, I thought I needed to be a multimillionaire I thought I need to make millions of dollars to have this lifestyle. I only need 20, 30 grand a month. I only need to spend 5 grand a month.
Yeah.
Right.
It puts everything in perspective. It's so crazy. It's so different.
Seriously, most people can live very comfortable lives on 5, 10 grand a month, dude. Very comfortable, very incredible lives, can have a happy family and get everything they want.
Yeah.
There's just, the thing is there's motherfuckers like you and me who want literally everything in the world and won't stop a second to get it and are willing to run laps around everybody trying to beat them.
Yeah. That's the only thing. They're the only people you're competing with, unfortunately.
Like I wouldn't want to go up against me.
Yeah.
Right. I was talking to Luke and I had an idea for a YouTube series where we all, like a couple of us who are in sales, we all sell the same product and see how much money we can make, where we all go and we start a business together and we see how much money we can make.
How it works, yeah.
Or competing, right? You have that healthy competition between sales guys on a sales floor. You have healthy competition, right? And people are motivated by shame or ego, right? And also a couple other things, but for the most part, people at the most basic level, people are motivated by shame and ego. When somebody's beating you, it's shame.
Yep.
When you're winning, it's ego, right? And I have this really cool idea that maybe we'll all like move into a place for a week or a month and like see where we can get with a business, and then kind of like vlog or document the whole thing and like see how much money we can
That'd
make.
be kind of cool.
Like
That'd be very
undercover
cool.
billionaire, except we're not billionaires, and we know what, and we all go like, hey guys, let's start this business. Let's do this, and this, and see how much money we can make.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a really cool series, really, really cool for content. I'm not sure if everyone else is on board though.
Well, you never know. Always proposition the idea, especially, but the sales calls competing would be a fucking good little thing for even the space.
Like,
yeah.
Say someone's better than everybody combined.
Yeah.
How is that going to look?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh man, yeah, you might have like a yearly championship. You know, they get that crown for the year.
Yeah. But
yeah. It's a sales
what's next for you, Sam?
What's next for me, man, is like, you know, definitely taking social life mentoring to the next level with all these people, breaking them out of the matrix, getting them to understand. One of the biggest things that I'm finding now is that when they understand that life is a game, that their social interactions, their networking, and their business are all actually one thing, that is where you see this light bulb moment where they're just like, holy shit, I've been running laps around trying to do all of this shit where it's all the same fucking thing. And when they do that, you see them exponentially grow. You see them, they get the bisexual girl they want. You see them, they get the cars they want. You see them, they get the lifestyle they want, the friends, the networking opportunities, the business opportunities. And they're like, fuck, I couldn't have done this without understanding this one concept.
Yeah.
So from that really, I get that, like, you know, it really fucking, you know, makes me giddy, because I'm just like, yo, it's actually helping people get the life they want. Maybe not in terms of, we're all trying to help, you know, that's why people pay you, because it's like you give them something that they can't get themselves. You give them the map, you give them the blueprint, whether that's what you're doing with your finances, and then they'll eventually learn it through fucking mass exposure to that kind of world, or they pay for it and they get the fucking quick fix in terms of the social aspect of it. It's all to do with understanding and becoming bigger and better yourself. For me personally, where I want to do it is that I've taken Australia to where I think I could take Australia to, and now it's like more international now. Going back to where my roots originally started with this whole thing almost. Yeah, bro. You know, going back to the different countries, going back to the Europes, the Americas, for sure.
Yeah,
you know, absolutely. connecting with all you boys, like, you know, that is a thing that even nightly I have on my vision, my stuff that I do, is like connecting with the Twitter boys in real life, connecting, you know, actually being there, because you know, it's been so good to connect with all of yous online, but in person, even fucking better, you know. I've been kind of like the outsider, be like, oh man, it'd be so fucking cool to do that.
Taller in person, bro.
Yeah.
I'm taller in person. You'll see when we meet.
Well, I'd love to say that too.
Bro, honestly, that was one of the funniest things. It's like, because there's only one person, one of our friends, Owen. He's not like super active on Twitter, but he's the boy. But he's the only person that I've met from Twitter who's actually taller than me.
Right.
He's about 6'6", and like, so. But when I met when I met everybody in like real life, I was like, wait, like you're that big? Like I was like, yeah, like I was like, dude, I told you I was like 6'3", 6'4", like I told you, like I'm like fucking beanstalk, bro.
Yeah, bro. Well, I think if anyone meets me, they're just like, they don't realize like how nuggety and fucking muscly I am, because it's just everything's concertinaed. They're like, fuck, this little cunt's fucking strong.
Is that what you tell the girls?
Yeah, I'm strong, you know, concertina. It's like everything is just
and muscly.
Yeah, nice and muscly, you know, nice and veins. But yeah, man. But the last couple of questions that I have for you is like, you know, with everything that you're doing, like in terms of, I really wanted to get into the normie-to-playboy tweet, because not only that tweet was like revolutionary for your brand, it came from such a place where you told me the framework, and it really came from like a place where you pretty much lived that fucking life. You just communicated it in a really, really good way that captured a lot of attention.
Yeah, I'll pull it up on my computer, because I was laughing at it. I was actually genuinely laughing at it last night. So
myself also, I was reading it.
I want to actually tell people something, right? Everybody on Twitter, everybody on social media is a personification of themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. The only way that works for the most part in order to generate mass attention, right, is to be a polarizing individual. You look at the most influential and the most famous people in the world, they're absolutely polarizing, right? You're either really loved or really hated. There's no in between. Oh, I like that guy. Yeah. But like, right. People are either going to hate you or love you, right? Hate and love are strong emotions. Oh yeah, if he's okay. That's not a strong emotions. But how many times I fucking hate that guy. He's an asshole. He's this, he's that. Or, yo, I love that guy's stuff. He's changed a lot for me. He's done so much for me and for my mentality, for the things that I do, the things that I'm doing in life, whatever it is. How many times do you hear that versus, oh yeah, that guy's okay. Right. Let's
give me one second.
I actually, so I did a breakdown
of it
inside of Cashflow Syndicate, and I actually speak about the psychology behind this tweet, right?
Yes. And for I'll preface the audience before you started, because this was the tweet that, like, literally for me, when I first got into it, this was the tweet that I had a podcast with you the next day or a couple of days later, and you were telling me, and this is the first time that I understood, oh shit, look, like Twitter was a different beast. Twitter was a different thing that I didn't understand. And so not only with that podcast, but I was able to see how there was culture behind this, which I missed. You know, there's not a culture to Twitter. There's not a community aspect, but Twitter does have it. Twitter has that. And so that was the first time. So everyone gets it. And we're talking, you know, when you're getting, you know, the numbers that we put out, 22, 23 million in 48 hours, that's comparatively completely different to, you know, 23 million views on TikTok, 23 million views on thing, because people are investing and reading this shit, and it hits them on a different level. So just so I can preface that.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's the equivalent of a 23 million view TikTok.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and the rest, I think, you know, more than that. 23 million.
On top of that, engagement off the chain, right? Yes. This got 3, and the reason it went so viral is because it's something that you don't look at and you're like, what? I didn't realize. So the whole thing originated. I'm in the gym. I'm about to go to the steam room, and I had just dropped a course on fashion, right? So I have a couple different courses that you guys can buy, right? I have $40 million offers, which is going to be discontinued because it's currently free inside of Cashflow Syndicate. It's going to be discontinued inside of Cashflow Syndicate very soon, because we're dropping the new version, right? So that's actually going to be that's $97. I have a fashion course. It's about 30 pages long. It tells you where to shop as a guy, how to build a wardrobe, to travel, how to travel, what to take when you travel, different archetypes that you can dress for, depending on if you're going on a date with a certain type of girl, how to style things together, and here's how to put everything together, right? I don't know if, Sam, you're going to use the video. I got a ring. This ring was about $5, and this watch was about $80, right? The shirt was $1,200, right? But that being said, and actually, Sam, I want to break down a couple, because I've had a couple different tweets where I kicked the bee's nest.
Yeah.
This originally was not intentional. So, and then the fashion course is $150. I'm probably going to increase the price as I start putting more content in there, because I want to genuinely build the best products in the world.
Yeah.
But that being said, one of the guys inside, he had posted his new style, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to put a picture up.
Yeah, I'll put it on the side. Yeah.
So, or put the thing together. And the reason it went super viral is because to the eye, it's like a picture of him on a mountain, climbing a mountain, just in like normal clothes. And then the next one is he's in ripped skinny jeans, Chelsea boots, and a suede jacket, right? And you can tell that he's in shape.
Yep.
And so I was just like, I was making a joke, because this was when my Twitter following was about 7,000 or 8,000, and all of them were highly engaged with me. And I never had something go super viral. I never penetrated the simulation and reached all of the people that are still inside the matrix.
Yep.
And I said, we've got guys in the group completely transforming and upgrading their style. He went from normie to playboy. You should be doing the same, right? Because there's a group, if you buy the fashion course, there's a group where I talk to you guys and I tell you, we post our shit together. And I'm like, oh yeah, you look fresher. That could be better. Like, you know, what are your opinions on this, right? To you know, make sure that, you know, everybody's staying fresh, right?
Yeah.
Very simple. It started blowing the fuck up. And all that was below it was a link to was a link to the course, right?
Yeah.
So this shit started blowing up, and it was all these people hating on the guy's new style. He looked better in the first picture. Fucking skinny jeans. You're a fag. You're gay. You're this. All these people saying really bad things about my boy in the picture. It's not even me in the picture, right? They were saying bad things about me, right? Saying things about my buddy in the picture. I'm just glad his face wasn't in it, and it started blowing up. And Twitter, anime Twitter came after me. Crypto Twitter. All these people came to me, right? So it's about 12 hours and it's about 3 a.m. And I get a message from, I believe he's a mutual friend of ours, my boy Ruby on Twitter. Shout out to Ruby, Deja Ru 22, the boy. And he says, "You're getting fucking crucified." And I said, "Yeah, you're right." And he said, "Look," he said, "you need to double down." And I said, "You're right. I need to double down." So I broke down. So I just went completely, threw my ego into overdrive. Right. Yeah. And you guys know me. This isn't actually how I am in real life. But I was like, and then literally, like, I would just, and I wrote it out, and it was the crazy, and it was the most egotistical, because all these people are like, fucking skinny jeans, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay. So what would make people even more mad? Pictures of me with hot girls. Yeah. What would get people even more mad? Calling out, right? So doubling down and calling out exactly what they're trying to fuck with me about, right? Yep. So next tweet, 12 hours later, these people seem to think this looks and is gay and homosexual. So I was getting called gay, homosexual, this, that. I said, "Would being gay and homosexual get you girls like this?" And then it's a picture blocked out, chick's face, whatever. Yeah. And then, foreign models. And then she came up to me and started damn near drooling. Do you know why? Because of how I was dressed and how I looked, right? So I start tying it back in, right? And it's a picture with a model girl, a friend of mine who I made in Greece. And then it's just a picture with my face covered, right? Then they're also saying, "You don't get any girls, you're gay," right? Then you start attacking their ego. All you got to do to be polarizing is starting to attack their ego, right? Do you know why you don't have any beautiful women? It's because you lack my swagger and have zero drip, bro. I don't even say shit like this, bro. I knew it would make people mad. Yeah. I knew it would make people mad, right? Then you dress like garbage. Face it, you're invisible to beautiful women. Actually, you're invisible to all women, even the ugly ones you don't want, right? So now I'm attacking their ego, right? You know why you don't have, because now you're just attacking their ego, right? Yeah. You're just like, it's like you're poking them with a fucking stick. And literally, that one, 953 quote tweets. But also, I wrote it in a way, and I wrote it on my phone, right? I was laying in bed, I wrote it on my phone. I wrote it in a way that it could be used as a copy pasta. Oh, yeah. So like that people can make fun of it. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Because the more you do that, the more attention you get. So that is 953 quote tweets. The other one has 403. The other one has 1,421. And the original tweet has 3,602. This is why it went so viral. And then I had all these people like posting their pictures of them in cowboy boots and everything. There's nothing wrong with wearing an anime t-shirt or cowboy boots. I personally don't wear it. But then the next tweet is, "Absolutely zero beautiful women see your anime t-shirt or your cowboy boots or dirty sneakers and think, 'Wow, that's so sexy.' Look at yourself. You're a nerd. You've got no girls, no money, and you've got no swagger. And surely you have no idea how to dress yourself," right? That has another one, right? Copy pasta. Even though it's attacking their ego, it's like, okay, now I'm attacking these anime nerds that came after me, the cowboy boot people that came after me, the dirty sneaker people thinking, "Oh, wait, what's up with this ratio?" However these Twitter people think. So that one got 944 quote tweets as well. 139 comments, 115 comments, like this went fucking viral. Yeah, viral. Do yourself a favor, stop being a loser, stop dressing like a nerd. So now I'm selling my course again. Yep. The people in the comments prove me right absolutely effortlessly. Do you want to be them with their terrible clothes and their terrible lives? I don't. I'd rather be with models having fun like I do. Do yourself a favor, dress the way beautiful women and international models want you to. Have an edge about you, have some style, and get some swagger. Click the link below and learn how, right? Then I kept it going. I kept it going, bro. I put the thing is like all of these, bro, like it's not even like, I couldn't even imagine myself really believing this shit. Yep. Right? Look at me and look at you. I'm actually 6'4", making most people's yearly salary in weeks, in world-class shape with a six-pack, fashion model, traveling to the most exclusive place in the world, spending time with beautiful women while I'm young too. Can you, and then the next one is, can you say the same? Or are you going to be one of the losers sitting behind their computer, seething over another man's over another man's success? Because these people were seething, bro. These people were fucking angry. Desperately angry that another man is better than you in every conceivable aspect of human existence. Be better. You're angry because I'm living an exponentially better life than you. Angry because you know you need to make a change. Fashion is as close to an instant fix as you can get. More girls and more opportunities await you. Change your life. And that was the thread. And I wrote the rest of it on my phone. I found all the pictures and everything on my phone randomly. Yeah. Within like 20 minutes, and I kept it going, and went super fucking viral. I made a fucking bag off that.
Yep.
I think, I don't know, not a super bag. I think I made like $5,000 overnight. I woke up to like $5,000 in sales.
Fucking hell.
So the psychology, right? It's like literally. So, and then all I did was like, at first I was like, yo, these people are like really hating on me. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then the comments is like, never catching me wearing those skinny ass jeans, like all this shit. Like, these people need to be like talking about these people in skinny jeans need to be bullied, whatever. All I did, I advertised my fucking course, and on Twitter, there's a function where you can click mute and you don't get any notifications. You don't even see anything. I clicked fucking mute, and guess what I did? Next day, I woke up, clicked fucking mute, went to the fucking gym, and I put the first episode of my podcast out. I recorded the next one with you.
Yep.
And I got back to my fucking shit.
Didn't do anything.
Right?
Yes,
and guess what? Residually, I saw new sale. And you have to put your ego into overdrive sometimes, because if I went about like, oh, I'm sorry for that. Oh yeah, wow.
It doesn't.
If I didn't do that, I would have been fucking crucified, and I would have been made a mockery of. Right. But because I went so egotistical, that was almost unbelievable. It's either incredibly unaware or incredibly self-aware. Yeah. Right. I'm quite self-aware as an individual, and I understand the way people work. So I noticed if I would get more attention to my course and my products and even my profile, if I continually just kick the bee's nest, right, and make it so self-aware that you're kind of like, you're making everybody mad. Wow, this guy made somebody mad. Here's the thing. Most people don't understand this. The people hating on me, it's not for them. You're not the audience I'm trying to reach with this. The people that I'm trying to reach are the people who are like, oh, wait, let me see this guy's profile. Is he actually living this life that he says he lives? Is he actually like, wait, hold up. Oh, this guy's just fucking with everybody. The people that out of the millions of people that saw that, the people that actually understood what I was doing are my audience. Intelligent individuals, right? Intelligent people who say, oh, I realize this guy's just fucking around. This is super funny, and he's making everybody mad in the same process. I'm going to buy his course. I'm going to give him a follow.
Yes, yeah, of course.
I grew like 10% overnight.
It's crazy.
I made a bunch of money. I fucking grew by 10% overnight. We got a bunch of signups, cash flow syndicate. Like, and there's people that are like, yo, I found you from this tweet. I saw that tweet. Another one I want to put.
Yeah.
I want to break down. So it's about intentionally kicking the bee's nest. So like, what happens when there's a fire, right? If you're making money from the fire, you have the opportunity to make money or grow your following. Or if you go to war, you only go to war if it's profitable, right? These guys are coming after me, the mob coming after me with pitchforks and fire, right? I'm pouring gasoline and I'm handing them pitchforks. Yeah. I'm not getting, because what's going to happen, right? Oh my God, haha, you're wearing skinny jeans, haha, you're an egotistical fuck. No, mean people saying words to me on the internet doesn't fucking matter to me.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I'm not going to do fucking therapy because people said some mean words. I'm going to click mute and go about my fucking day, right? If it's real and there's like actual threats, then that's another thing. But like, I don't think, I don't think most of these people on Twitter, these Twitter finger people actually they won't actually say it to any of our faces. If you have something go crazy viral, they're not going to say it to your face, and they're not going to really try to come after you. They're just like, it's a dopamine hit. And actually it's kind of like energy harvesting, because you have millions of people that are seeing your stuff and you're consuming all their energy, because you're like, they're turning calories into their fucking Twitter fingers. Yeah. So getting back to what I was saying, there was a second tweet that I put out that was
a couple of weeks after, wasn't it? Or something like that.
It was in April. It was April. So, and it's a picture of just me and me and my girl, and I blocked our faces out because I was still anonymous with my face at this point. And it was me, and I was wearing the same shirt, my Saint Laurent shirt. I actually wear this most of the time when I do podcasts. I don't know, but I like, so, and the whole story is I had a client actually ghost me for like a couple grand. And I ended up calling her like 2 months later and just screaming at her. And she gave me the money on the spot, but I already accounted for me losing the money. So I went to Saint Laurent, I bought a $1,200 shirt, and I took my girl to dinner. I spent all of it in a day. Right. But it was me in my Saint Laurent shirt looking fresh. And I got a big chest, bro. They were saying I got cleavage and everything. Even on this video, my chest is out of it. But I knew this was going to be a banger because I knew it was going to piss people off. And I wrote, I make your yearly salary every month and get girls you'd never even have a chance to talk to. Which, if you're working at McDonald's or you're making 30 grand a year,
it's pissing you off.
Guess what, bro? It's true, right? And, or even if you're making like 10 grand a month, 15 grand, right? Like, it's not specified. It's just something that like is going to make people mad. Right. It's going to make people mad. Right. So, and all of this is just like to drive attention. Right. And it got so many quote tweets of just people hating, right? Like, and some of them were funny, like, but literally, I didn't even add anything to it. It just went viral. I clicked mute and I let it go. I got a shit ton of followers.
So I do it.
And then, but as you're doing this, as you're creating attention, you have to make sure that somebody who follows you when you have 19,000 followers is not going to see all the shit on Twitter from when you had 2,000 followers, all your other good shit. So you got to make sure that you're putting that back in front of people, putting that back in front of people, putting back in front of your new audience. The whole point of putting your old stuff back in front of the new people is so that you integrate them with who you are, right? What your vision is, right? If there's, say, 8 or 9 things that you're good at and they follow you for one of those things, it's about having them fuck with and not necessarily, if you want to use marketing terms, convert, but be integrated with, okay, well, like this guy's with hot girls, but like, oh, wait, hold up. How's he making money? Right. Yeah. Oh, he learned sales. Okay. So what content is there? Or like, okay, like this guy's with hot girls. Like, oh, I like the way this guy dresses, or like, you know, he's talking about fashion or perception. Okay. I want this. And then they buy the fashion thing, or they want to learn sales. They join Cashflow Syndicate. They buy $40 million offers, or, you know, soon it's going to be, along with that, it's going to be my credit stuff. Right. Mm-hmm. So, or they follow for like the travel content, like, hey, I'm in Spain, I'm doing this, I'm here in the business lounge in Turkey, like whatever it is, talking about traveling the world. Yeah. So the more people that you get from different areas, you're like collecting people, like followers and influence in different areas, right? Mm. So the more you do that, the more not only audiences that you hit, but you also get to integrate people and actually really impact people on a fundamental level, because they see that it's actually all possible. They see that this life that they see these gurus living on the internet is actually possible. And when you do it in a real way, a real format, and you're a real person, and you respond to them and you actually get to know them, right? That's why Twitter Spaces are so cool. That's why the live calls inside of Cashflow Syndicate are so cool. That's why the one-on-ones that I did were awesome, right? Because they get to know you. And a lot of the guys are like, it's so amazing that I can actually sit and actually talk to you. Talk to somebody who's, you know, relatively successful, who has a little bit of success, and then also like get to know you as a person. So because it makes me feel like I'm not just a product.
Yeah, you're
a person, bro. And that's how you do really well. That's how you cultivate relationships, and you have to build a relationship in some way with almost every single person that interacts with you online. Social media is inherently social. Right. And if you build and cultivate relationships with the people that are fucking with your shit and they're fans of you, you have somebody who likes you for life, I think, personally, as long as you don't screw them over. You're good. I really think it's a beautiful thing. And it's like, I really genuinely love and I enjoy cultivating relationships and talking with the people, like, you know, even some of the Telegram chats that, you know, where you and I are both in, or like in the private groups for my info stuff, or Cashflow Syndicate, like really just like engaging with them, bro, and talking with them and being present and being in it. Dude, I got 5 projects I'm working on right now, right? But I'm present with this. I'm present here with you. I'm in it.
Yes, exactly.
And you have a bunch of stuff that you're doing too, but you're here, you're present, you're in it. So when you really give somebody your undivided attention, they like, it does something, right? You're not sitting there. I'm not sitting there. Where's my phone? I'm literally not sitting here on Instagram, like talking to you, whatever. Oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
No, we're in it, we're present. And when you show your followers that, and when you talk to them in a one-on-one or on a Twitter space, or they listen to you, and there's so many different ways that you can do that. That's how you create and build rapport. That's how you create not only a following, that's how you create influence.
Yeah, personal brand,
right?
That is
all the messaging. Hey, David, I listened to your podcast. You told me that you said this in your podcast. I made 50 calls. I got a client. Or I joined Cashflow Syndicate a month ago. I made $5,000 and I just did X, Y. I did everything you said. And then I get on the phone call and then it's like, look, like, yo, like I learned how to do all this from you and I'm fucking crushing it. Right. Yes. Where do you think I can improve? Here's my current situation. And then you tell them and then they go and improve. I gave a guy, not a deal, but some advice because he sells debt restructuring for corporate companies. I got off the phone with you and the next day I closed the biggest deal of my life. I used what you said and I closed the biggest deal of my life.
Damn.
I don't understand how people can still sit here and think things that you and I do are a scam.
Like, I just want to
seats that you are good at what you do.
How do you and compare with the other people? Because I'm unsure whether to go with you. It's like
I don't know. I'm unsure. Okay, bro.
Yeah, you do you, but you do you, bro.
I don't want to work with fence sitters. I don't want to work with people that are unsure.
Yeah, I definitely see that. Fence sitting is like one of the things that the stuff that I'm doing with these high level executives and stuff that I've told you about is like the one thing is they implement like absolute beasts. You tell them something, they implement it the next day. I remember back in the day, I used to live when I was living in LA, we lived at the big house on Runyon Canyon. I lived with a guy called Big Mike. Now, Big Mike he has the royalties to marijuana fertilization. So this guy's making money hand over fist, like the shit that we couldn't even dream of.
Yeah.
Big Mike, I remember one day, like, this guy used to talk with you while he was getting high and you tell him shit and the next day it would be implemented the next day. And so I'd finish the conversation like 2 a.m. and then by like 10 the next day, it was done, bro. And I'm talking that shit. It's like, I remember one day he was like, he called the real estate agent up because I was on the lease for some reason. I was on the lease for under Real Social Dynamics. And he was like, how much do we lose if I paint the pool, like the bottom of the pool? And he goes, well, Mr. His last name, he was like, well, you'll lose your $1 million bond, right? This is about fucking, I think this was like 9 p.m. at night, right? True story. And he's like, all right, thanks. The next day at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning, the pool was drained and the fucking painter was there. And they painted this fucking big mural on the pool. Couldn't give a flying fuck how much money he just lost. All he was like, oh, yep. So in 12 hours, he was able to like get shit done in the middle of the night in Los Angeles. As you know, LA works fucking 24 hours a day. It doesn't sleep. You know what I mean? You need a painter that morning. But they just execute so aggressively and so fast because like speed and implementation is almost what you need to capture opportunities. Like, even take your girl, that opportunity that you were able to talk with her, boom, that ain't going to last longer than a minute. And these guys are just slow, stuck in the mud. As Conor McGregor would say, they're stuck in the mud.
People got to stop being so slow, man. Yeah. Like, it's one thing if you have a million other things that you're working on that are going to yield direct results a lot faster. Like I have this new business idea I have. It's like I have other things that are going to yield direct results a lot quicker. Yeah. And once those are done, I can put full focus and full energy, but my focus needs to be put into the actual things that I'm doing currently. Right.
Yeah.
Speed, right? Like even yesterday, I was like, I'll text Mason. I'll just be like, yo, dude, I need this implemented here. And then I'll be like, yeah, I just did this, and this. We're ready to go. All we need to do is this, is like 2 other things.
Yeah.
Right. For our 2.0 launch. And us moving with speed, like when we had the idea for Cashflow Syndicate, I was in the middle of traveling. So I really didn't have like all the time in the world to get the thing done, but we had an idea. And I can genuinely say within 48 hours of execution, we had an entire business, which has become a 6-figure business. Probably if you wanted to get it valued, it's probably like a 7-figure. I don't fucking know. But we built a 6-figure business from it, and multi-6-figure business. And it took us 48 hours to do.
Yeah.
Right. But because we had put in all the energy and all the work on the front end to actually develop and be credible, right?
Yes.
That's why we have the success that we do. And that's also because we are experts in many things, but experts in the things that we do. That's why we were able to go in and now we're able to get so many people success. You have almost a decade of fucking experience now with what it is that you're doing. You know the game, which is why you're able to take somebody at any level and move them through the process of becoming better, right? Developing charisma, meeting girls, getting their shit together, everything as a coach, because you have the experience, because you've been there and you've done it yourself. Never, ever, 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 ever. I want to talk about this really quickly. Never, ever, ever take fucking advice from somebody who hasn't done it themselves. Credit guys, I'll tell you this, these fucking credit guys have never worked in credit a day in their life.
Right? They just see the lucrative dollar signs next to it.
Credit repair. Have you ever worked in credit in your life? Do you know how to read a credit report? Do you know how to look at it? Do you know how to go through the small business credit report, the CBR? Do you know how to look? Do you know how to see how many UCC filings are on your business? Do you know what UCC subordination is? Do you know exactly that if you see certain things that they're not going to be, that they're fucked? How do you sell a loan to a business who has $3 million in revolving credit lines? And then you look and you see that their balance is maxed out on 3 of their credit cards, and then their cash flow on their bank statements is fucked up and they need the money, right? How do you look at these things and tell? You don't know. You don't even know how to get KYC right. Do you know what OFAC is? No. Do you know how to get your KYC right? Do you know that some companies give automated loans based on certain criteria? And if it pops in the system that you don't even need to go through underwriting? No.
Yeah.
You don't fucking know that.
There's so many different levels to that.
Get this credit card and then manufacture spend, and they do this whole shit with manufacture spending. No, how about you go actually spend money because you actually are making money, and then you go profit $4,000 per year on your Amex Platinum, right? Or you go and stay free hotels, you fly business class for free. Like all these people saying you can travel the world for free with manufactured spend on their credit cards and on a business that has no revenue is absolute fucking bullshit, right? I want to talk about this really quickly, because you need to take advice from somebody who's been there and done it, or has a certain level of expert experience in the field, right? When you are doing credit applications, right? I know, right? I just opened up a holding company for all of the things that I have. I opened up a holding company. So when I called Chase Bank up and I said, hey, should I get the card now? I'm in process for the LLC for the holding company, or the corporation for the holding company. They say, no, hold off. Wait till you get this and get this, and then you get this. And also, people don't know that if you get an individual taxpayer number, you can actually start to build credit with US banks and US systems, even if you're in a different country. People don't know this. People don't teach this.
No,
right?
Definitely not.
People don't teach it because it's not lucrative, right? They'll teach credit repair, and all they'll do is they'll call the credit company and dispute a charge, and then their credit score goes up so they can get a new credit card.
Yeah.
I'm talking about I'm releasing something that's genuinely going to fix people's shit forever. And the title of it, you're going to like it. The title of it is called Credit Mastery: Escape Debt Slavery and Master the Secrets of the Elite to Gaining Almost Free Money. Right? I had over 6 figures in liquid revolving credit when I was 24.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing is that's 6 figures with 0% interest on it.
Yeah.
Where I can spend it all and then I can wait a year to pay it back.
Yeah.
It's gonna fuck my score up, but I can do that.
You can definitely do that
at any time, right? So I know that I'm always going to be good because I can buy myself with the systems and the things that I've set up. If I ever go broke, I can buy myself a year of time.
That's good. That's what you need.
$200,000 in spend. I could probably live the same exact lifestyle I do now, but I'll figure out a way out of it. So you always, and in sales, right? Like you don't want to take a lot of people. Like I can teach people how to sell, right? I can teach people how to sell at any level, right? But when I look for sales education, there's actually only one person that I really even listen to anymore, and that's Brad Lee.
Yeah.
Brad Lee has an 8-figure company doing millions of dollars in sales. Nobody can really and he's got really good information because I know that he's a step above me, right? I want to learn how the guys who are working and who own, not are working, but who own 8-figure and 9-figure billion-dollar companies are selling at an executive level. Those guys are a couple steps ahead of me,
Yeah.
right? I
Always
can
getting
teach you how to,
always getting those people ahead of you.
like Sam, I can teach you how to get on a call with somebody and sell them something, right? That's no problem, right? But I'm talking about at a higher executive level,
Yeah.
right? I want to learn from the people who are doing 100, 200, 500 grand a month versus the people who are doing 5 million a month, because I'm not at 5 million a month yet, right? I'm not at $500,000 a month, right? If I'm still under 100K a month, I want to learn from the people who are at 100K. What are they doing, right?
Yes, exactly.
So
Well, that's exactly what you want. You want to be stepping up in every sort of area, whether it's dating, relationship, whether it's money, whether it's your self-mastery, as you said, whether it's just learning different things, because that's where it makes you more valuable. And that's sort of the end of the game. It's like you will get paid on the value that you not only contribute to the world, but you have as a person, just your value as a person, you know?
absolutely.
You look at you contributing back to people. And that's probably like the biggest one. If you can contribute back to people, they will pay you for that. If you,
Absolutely.
as you said, is irrefutable evidence that you've done it, you've done the skill, that is where the value exchange is going to be beneficial in your world a lot of the time.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's all about maximizing. Like if you look at life in levers, right? And it's finding harmony as well. My boy Farshad always talks about this. Farshad's a fucking G. You should actually get him on the podcast.
Okay.
But he's a fucking G. And we always talk about this idea of harmony, right? You have health, wealth, relationships, right? Or what's the
higher purpose? Yep.
Yeah, higher purpose, right? So like the more you max out wealth, right? Say the more you max out wealth, the less the hit you take on fitness, right? Or you take on fun. Oh, health, wealth, fun, and relationships. You might be maxing out on fitness and wealth, right? You might be making $1 million a month, right? You might be making $20 million a year. You're maxed out on wealth, right? Or you could push it a little further, sure. Maxing out on fitness, you can be multimillionaire in shape, but your relationships, you might not be seeing your friends as much. You might not be dating those girls that you want to date, right? You might, and this is why your stuff exists. Or you're probably not, or you might be dating girls, but you're not having fun. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's about finding a harmony between pulling these levers as far as possible to where one doesn't go all the way back and shoot up, and you end up getting sick, or you feel like shit, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's really important that you find harmony.
Not
balance. People say, "Oh, work-life balance." There's no fucking such thing as work-life balance. You want to be a millionaire. You want to actually fucking do the things that you want to do. These incredible things. There's no way you can live a balanced life. You are a person that lives a life of extremes.
Yeah, right? Pretty well. Yes, exactly. Because it's extreme what you're doing. extreme life.
Like if you want to live an extreme life, you got to be an extreme person. You have to work like an extreme individual. You have to do extreme things. Nobody's going to go up to the dime piece in the club and start talking to her because that's an extreme thing, because everybody's fucking scared.
Yeah, exactly. The normie's not going to do that. That's for sure.
Like everybody's scared.
For sure. No, I can imagine.
And the thing is the only thing that's holding you back is the lies that you tell yourself to why you can't do it.
Yeah, the mindset, the mind frames that we talked about. Just what's being repeated in your brain. I think that's fundamental with everything that you do. It seems like, a lot of people on this podcast can see that the way that your brain works and the way that their brain may not be serving them. They're not their own cheerleader. They're not the idea that, they even have the balls to, when the heat is on, to double down, to make that money, to bank on yourself as you have, to take those risks,
You need, and I agree, and you need to be egotistical up to a certain extent. You don't want to walk around life, right, with the chest puffed out saying, "I'm the fucking man, I'm better than everybody." No, that's not how you do it. You walk through life with humility, but internally that you got your own back. Yeah. That you're the man. And if you got into a situation where you went broke tomorrow, you'd be able to get yourself fucking out of it, right? Or if you lost everything, right, you'd be able to get yourself out of it. It's so important that you have this mentality, right?
Self-reliance.
So important that you remain dominant, right? You have to remain a dominant individual, right? All the guys that are crushing it in life, they took a personality test. It's called a DISC assessment. Probably you and me, if we answered it honestly, our dominance level, like 100 is the max. Our dominance would probably be somewhere in the high 90s.
It's big there. Yeah, right? For sure.
Right. So if you took this personality, but the thing is if you're a dominant individual, you have to go after what you want, right? If you're a salesperson, you want people that score high on dominance, because you know that they're not going to sit there and make fucking excuses as to why they can't call the customer on the phone and close them right then and there. Yeah. Right. How dominant are you going to be as an individual? How much are you going to put in the work, right? Are you going to want it? Are you going to continue when you can't actually, when you feel like you can't do it anymore? Are you going to push further, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to be better than who you were yesterday? Those are the types of people that conquer the fucking world.
Yeah.
Those are guys like you and me. We work till we can't. We work till we fucking pass out.
Yeah, till you pass out a little fucking laptop.
When we party till we pass out too.
Yeah,
We live
exactly.
extreme.
We pass out. Unless it's just the life of passing out because of fucking extreme exhaustion.
So it's just a life. It's like a life. It's like, and then you start to optimize your systems when you can't do anything anymore. But it's like, that's how I see it, man. It's like,
Yeah.
I know that there are places that I want to be in. Like, dude, I want to get a supercar. I was talking to Matt yesterday, and he told me not to get a silver Ferrari because it's sacrilegious. But also, it's important that I don't skip steps.
Yep.
Going from what I drive now to a Ferrari is a huge step, and then I miss everything in between.
Yeah.
Right. But I know that if I want to get this thing, that I got to come up with, I got to make like another 300 grand in the next 6 months, and I have to find a vehicle of which to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
So, but I know that, okay, if I got to make 300 grand, what do I do? Right. I might not even buy the fucking car.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that I know exactly how to do it because I believe in
steps
myself.
To reverse engineer, as you said. Yes, of course.
I'm able to do it, right?
Yeah.
And that's incredibly important, and it's what people don't. A lot of
the last bit that I would say to you is like, okay, well, I say this to everyone. It's like, if you could change the one thing about the world, what would that thing be for you?
I wish more people. There's a lot of things I wish I could change. I wish people were more grounded and more people believed in themselves. Mm-hmm. I wish that people would tell the rules and regulations of the world to get fucked more so than they do now. That's been my like word, man. Get fucked. Like literally, like when you quit your job, just don't say, "Oh, I resign." No, get fucked. Right? If you want to burn a bridge, you burn a bridge.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to tell when they say, "Oh, you need to get a," I don't want to really go into Corona, but like if you want to go get this thing, no, fuck you, get fucked.
Yeah.
Right? People should have the freedom to say yes or no.
Yeah.
Most people just sit there and they comply and they comply and they comply, and they're sheep because they haven't awoken to what the reality of the world actually is. Mm-hmm. I wish that there were more people who were grounded, more men especially, who were grounded in their belief systems, who said no, who stood up and they had the ability to say no, and they had the freedom to say no. Freedom, I literally tweeted this last night. Freedom is the ability to do something, but having the power, or freedom is having the power to do something, but the option and the ability to exercise not to.
Right. Yeah, that's a good definition of it for sure.
So I wish more people would tell people to get fucked. You don't want to talk to somebody? Get fucked. You don't want to take that client on? Get fucked. Or the client's giving you shit? Get fucked, bro. I don't need your business. But that comes from stability, and it comes from the freedom within yourself. It comes from that self-belief. I told a guy, actually one of the guys in Cashflow Syndicate who's fucking killing it right now, Oscar, he goes, "Oh, like this client, I'm having a hard time signing him on like a retainer deal. And like, he's got a couple other brands." And I said, "Oscar, be honest with him. Tell him the truth. Tell him to get fucked."
Yeah. Here's
why. You sit there and you're like, "Okay, well, bro, I made you all this money. Why don't you want to make more? Are you dumb? What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
We're seeing all the success. We got a great partnership. We're working well together. Why? Because you don't want to spend more money? I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So I've already proved that you spend $5,000 with me, you make 50.
Yep.
That doesn't make any sense to any sense whatsoever to me. So that is how you tell somebody, like, "Yo, what are you talking about, man?" And it's because the reason why he won't say that is because he really wants to keep the client, right? Because there's a lack of abundance there.
Yeah.
Most people are scared out of scarcity. Are they not?
Yeah.
Most people are scared out of scarcity, bro. Like,
it's a fact of life.
I remember, dude, like when you get too emotional about a deal and when you want to close a deal so badly, you get really emotional about a deal, and a deal closes, this shit hurts. But the best thing to do when you don't close a deal is call the fucking next person.
Yeah. Pick up the phone and start dialing.
Seriously, dude. Like, so that's what I would say. That's what I would change about the world. I wish more men were grounded in their beliefs, and I wish more men had the confidence to stand up and say no. If they don't like something, stand up and say no. If they don't agree with something, stand up and say no. right? Regardless if they're right or wrong, at least stay grounded in your beliefs. If you say no, stand by your decision, right? If you're wrong and you make a wrong decision, if you're wrong, sure, apologize for that decision, but be like, look, like, I feel like I made the best decision possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe I was wrong, but I still stand by my beliefs, right?
But you made that decision for yourself.
You made the decision for yourself, because most people are so scared and they live in a state of scarcity that they're scared to not comply. They're scared to not comply. They'll say yes, right? Something as small as, like, I don't want to use wearing a mask for an example, but wearing a mask when you don't have to wear a mask, right? They see a sign that said, they see a sign in the gym where no one's wearing masks and the guy's got a mask on in the gym.
Yeah.
Right. Like, dude, if you want to wear it, cool. That's your decision, right? That's absolutely your prerogative. That's, do whatever you want to do, but that's your decision to make. But don't force that opinion. Don't force that on other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And if somebody tells you to get fucked, don't tell them don't get mad at them.
Yeah. Cause you have that ability yourself too.
You have the ability yourself.
Exactly.
Right. If you want to hate on Sam for being Sam, and Sam tells you get fucked, that's Sam's decision until you get fucked. Right.
Yeah. Same with anything.
I just wish, I genuinely wish people just believe in themselves more, man. I wish people believed in themselves like some of us believe in them, like as coaches, right? Or as people, as I guess educators, as teachers. Like, I wish, like, because when you really put time into somebody, you believe in that person, because otherwise you're just wasting your breath. And I wish people believed in themselves, like their friends and sometimes their family and their coaches and their teachers and the people that they look up to believed in them as well. That's another thing I would change about the world.
Yeah.
Only thing that is holding people back in life is the lies they tell themselves of why they're not going to be able to do it.
That's a good point to finish. D, it's been a fucking pleasure talking with you, brother. Where can the people go to find more information about you, find your stuff, find everything about what they want to hear on the podcast now, what they can go to?
Yeah. So, Sam, we kind of just jump right into it, but I'll give the outro. So you can find me on Instagram at David, DAVID, HVNTER. You can find me on Twitter at yourealazyfvck. That's YOUREALAZYFVCK. Find me on my podcast it's The Syndicate. I don't need to spell that out. It's The Syndicate on Spotify. It's got like 13 or 14 episodes now. Sam, maybe I'm just gonna upload this to mine. We can just double it because this is a fucking great conversation.
Yeah, it's been great.
The Syndicate, host of the Syndicate podcast, Hoobie, HOO.be/DXVID. You can find links to Cashflow Syndicate. Cashflow Syndicate is cashflowsyndicate.io. And then I got a link tree as well where I got my courses and everything on Twitter. If you guys want to go check those out. Then I'm not going to say the name of the marketing company because that's kind of irrelevant. But that being said, go follow me on all platforms. If you want to be inspired, I mean, go check out my Instagram. I don't really have that many followers on Instagram, but I think I'm going to start creating content, really, really going hard on that platform. Not on TikTok yet. That's going to probably come soon. Mostly on Twitter. And if you want to contact me directly, you can join Cashflow Syndicate, or you can buy one of my programs and you get direct access to me. For the most part, and I'll answer whatever questions that you guys have. So that's it. And Sam, I appreciate seeing you, my friend. We talk all the time, and I'm glad we got to record one of these super long conversations that we have, man.
Absolutely. And the people with it, 2.5 hours, we got that. And so this is a regular occurrence between me and David. So you get to get an inside private view of us, And that's the thing, man. If they execute on 10% of what you just told them, whew.
I hope they do, man. I hope they do. Yeah, join our stuff, man. I put a tweet out actually the other day, bro. Like I said, if you got 0 girls, 0 drip, 0 charisma and everything, you buy my fashion guide, you join Social Life Mentoring, then you go buy Ricardo's course, and then you're good.
Yeah, your life is set then.
So when we do another one of these, man, we have to we should take some questions from our audience. People.
Absolutely.
You should get some wine or some drinks, and we could sit there for a couple hours and just
I'll be down with that. Yeah, absolutely. And then the next one in top of that in person.
Seriously, bro. We can maybe do it in Dubai or Prague or somewhere in Europe when they let you out of
the prison colony. We'll
Sam, it's
get
been a
there.
pleasure.
Say, boss.